Howdy, howdy, guys.
Good morning.
Good evening.
And that's basically evening here as well. Good to see everybody. Let's see this. I'm technically challenged, so I'm turning on all these other things now. We have so many different feeds going on.
Lots of platforms. Yeah, super busy.
Yeah.
Celebrity now.
Since somebody started opening their big mouth and got on the short end of the stick, I gotta multitask. Gotta diversify. Get all the eggs out of one basket, so to speak. Oh man, how was your guys' this weekend?
I don't know. I blinked and the weekend's over. It's Monday morning or here already. So can we do a replay? Yeah, I missed out. Anyway.
Do they watch Groundhog's Day in Australia like we do in America?
Yeah, I have seen it, and it's exactly what it feels like at the moment. And as you can see, I've broken my internet, so I'm in a different room, and I've got the birds out. There's one behind me. I don't know, the other one flew off that way somewhere. So I apologise in advance if they squawk a lot, but I have to be connected to the internet cable. I've got no Wi-Fi in the house, and we can't figure out why because I broke it. So.
Oh no.
Sorry.
I think it's YouTube. They're trying to censor us again.
I don't know, but I can't even get my laptop working, and I normally use that. So apologies in advance for the sound. This is an old computer, so.
You sound okay.
No worries.
Yeah.
Nope, everything's going good. We're starting to get our poop in a group. We'll get together one of these days. Oh man, let us know out there. Oh, hello from Texas, and where you guys are tuning in from. And yeah, I had a fun weekend. I started Friday giving birth to a kidney stone. That was fun. So if you guys have a chance to do that, pass on that if you have an option. Because as it would turn out, those suck pretty terrible. I was first worried that I was dying, and then about 3 hours into it, I was worried that I wasn't dying because I wanted to be put out of my misery. Oh my gosh, those things are not fun. So, yeah, don't have any of those for sure. For anybody that hasn't had the pleasure of having one of those. So, I don't know. It feels like your kidneys are suplexing your testicles over and over and over again, and they're in a fight in your body. And you're not sure who's winning, but you know they're both definitely losing.
Yeah, my dad used to suffer from them quite a bit when I was younger, and yeah, it wasn't pleasant. He really suffered, so I can imagine it was pretty painful.
Oh yeah, it was. I didn't know what was going on. It would have been a little less stressful if I would have known for sure it was a kidney stone.
Yeah, you have no idea when you're hurting that bad now.
Yeah. But yeah, true to fashion, I still hate hospitals so bad I still wouldn't go. It was the worst pain I ever felt. And I was like, I don't care. I will die in bed before I go to the hospital.
But you look good this morning. You're happy and vibrant. You got little rosy cheeks. So
it's no pain.
Yeah.
That's because I was on the edge of death, and I was in the seventh circle of the pit of hell on Friday, and I came out of it. So I'm glowing to not be in pain. Here we go.
How are you doing, Michael? Are you feeling better these days?
My back still. It all depends on each day.
Stork knows what I'm talking about. Stork's been there.
I had my first kidney stone last August. I thought I was being electrocuted. Oh dear.
I'm worried about it. I don't want to go through it.
No, for sure not.
Yeah.
For sure not. It's definitely not on the fun to do list.
Yeah. And they say it's oxalate dumping, isn't it? Getting rid of these stones. It's just part of oxalates. Yeah. And it's funny, I'm 3 years in and I've got the legs, really dried skin on my legs and almost developed like an itchy rash. I just wanted to scratch my legs so bad. and it's all gone now. But I'm 3 years into carnivore and I'm still getting it. Like, what is with that? Hi, Tim.
I know. So many weird things. And I mean, it's fine. These things got to get out of us. We're cleaning house, we're detoxing, we're moving some stuff. I may have caused that on my own from taking fluid pills because one of the side effects from fluid pills is kidney stones. And that was probably the longest drug that I've ever taken. So I might be finally dealing with many years of doing that too. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
Tim. But yeah, that was ridiculous. I was surprised, for anybody that's never had them, how fast that came on. I went from not a single clue
0 to 90. Yep.
that like the sun was shining, right? I was smelling the daisies, everything was just fine. And then it was like, what? Something is seriously wrong. Within 60 seconds, it just felt like I got kicked in the back by a mule, and then just everything went south. It was crazy.
It lasted about 9 hours, you said.
Yeah, about 9 hours. The majority of the pain lasted about 7 hours, the worst part of the pain, and then it finally passed and got into my bladder. And then once it hit my bladder, I had about another 2.5 hours of this. I felt like I had just drank 2 gallons of water and held the pee for about 10 days. And my bladder just was killing me. I get up and go pee, nothing would come out. I'd be walking back to go sit down, and I would have to turn right back around. I'm like, oh no, false alarm, definitely this time. And then I go in there, there was nothing. I get back out, the bathroom, come back in here, and just go back and forth. And I ended up trying to pee like 55 times. I ended up actually peeing like, I don't know, maybe 10 times. And one of those, there was a little tiny black speck.
A grain of sand.
Sand, yeah, in the toilet. And I was like, that can't be it. But then I talked to Dr. Phil, and he goes, nope, that was it. And I was like, that was it? I was looking for like a white hot ball bearing the size of a golf ball that had been rolled in glass and dipped in battery acid. That's what I thought I was moving out. And this little tiny, harmless looking little speck of black, I guess, calcium, whatever, was the weapon of mass destruction that had made me feel, so many array of pains. It was crazy. That's why I couldn't decide what it was. My back hurt. My stomach hurt so bad. I dry heaved for like 4.5 hours. I wanted to throw up so bad, and I could not throw up. I thought I had to pee all the time. I couldn't pee. I paced the floor back and forth. I was starting to get so weak because I broke out into a cold sweat. Then I turned white. Then I was freezing to death. And then I started getting really weak, and I was like, I might actually have to go to the hospital. So I even got dressed again. And I was like, I don't think I'll be able to get dressed in another hour if something's going bad. And I was pretty sure it was kidney stone, but I was like, something there, as bad as this hurts, there might be internal bleeding. I don't know what's going on.
Oh dear.
Well, yeah, and then I went out in the gym, and I was bouncing on the on the trampoline, the rebounder, and then I got on the vibration plate. The vibration plate, by the way, was the most helpful out of all the things. And Wim Hof breathing. Those two things were the only thing that gave me like a semblance of a distraction in that 7 hours. But it was something else. But if they could, I know like they say the CIA and stuff has like a heart attack gun and all this. If they could create a kidney stone gun and make terrorists pass kidney stones, we would know we're all the bad people on earth. There'd be no secrets. There'd be no secrets from anybody. Just create a kidney stone gun, and it would be just fair play because everybody can get them. So just make somebody pass a nasty kidney stone, and there would be no more secrets. There'd be nothing to find out. Espionage wouldn't need anything more than that kidney stone gun for sure.
Wow. Sounds bad.
It was not my favorite thing to do, for sure. I'm definitely going to try to never do that again. 100%.
I don't blame you.
I'm oxide dumping again, and baby powder on my underarms is saving me. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? I had the underarms last year, but it's on my legs this time, just from my my knees down.
Right?
But tallow saving my legs. Just putting tallow in it, and within 30 seconds, that itchiness has gone. So I'm sort of lathering my legs up with tallow at the moment. Feels a bit sticky, but it's all right.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's crazy. I get it on the back of my legs like crazy. And then I itch until I look like I stabbed myself and on the back because it just drives you nuts.
You got to be careful with that too. You can get cellulitis really easy with the lymphedema in your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with these nails, it feels so good, but it's not good.
I know.
Not
But
too good for the skin. Yeah, I've got to be really careful.
I know you get carried away and you pull up your hand and you're covered in blood and you go, oh no, I'm bleeding out. This is not going to be good. Tim says, oh no, kidney stones really painful. Don't recommend it. I feel you there.
You've had them too, have you? Oh dear.
Oh, yeah, that Tim's not joking at all.
Yeah.
They're not.
I'd love to know the difference between gallstone pain, and kidney pain, if there's much difference, because I've had the gallstones and that was pretty bad.
Well, I have no clue. I pray that I don't. I pray that I never have that reference to go by to. I don't want to know. Yeah, we detox in layers for sure.
Yeah. I think we're storing so many of the toxins in the fat. And as we're losing the fat, it's just being released into our body. So things are just happening. And 3 years, still got toxins there and plenty of fat still to go. So I'm bound to have more oxalate dumping.
Right.
I just hope it's not in the form of a kidney stone. You got me worried now.
I hope there's no more stones in there. I hope that was the last one. You made me nervous when you said your dad had them all the time. I'm like, no.
Oh, he wasn't carnivore. I mean, that was back when I was young. So
yeah,
he ate a lot of crap too.
No, I mean, it was funny because I was sitting here going, oh, I almost called Dr. Phil and it was the middle of the night. I was like, I should wake Dr. Phil. He'd want to know if I'm dying. I was trying to talk myself into it. I'm like, not waking Dr. Phil in the middle of the night. Be a man. Suck it up, Marcus. We're fighting with it. I was like, oh, I'll just pray that I'm not dying. About 3 hours later, I'm like, scratch that. God, if I am dying, could you just do it now? I really don't want to feel this anymore. Now would be a great time. I don't mind. Mom P, I'm glad you enjoy my suffering sense of humor. It's the only thing that keeps me sane, or I don't know, playing off the insane one of the two.
Yeah, we're just happy you lived to tell the tale, so all good.
For sure. Thank you so much. Right, the torture would be for feed them sad. Yes, absolutely. Feed them standard American diet. Let them get kidney stones. Kill them slowly. That is some slow, methodical torture for sure. Oh man, here's one for Lindy.
Oh, Lindy, I also had it at the back of my ankles in the 3rd month mark. I thought it was, it's so itchy, isn't it?
Oh.
But tallow works.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little bit brutal. Let's see. I'm gonna check Instagram, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Wow, we got
Dr. Kiltz last time, didn't you?
I know I had Dr. Kiltz in here. Yeah, and I'm just like ghosting Dr. Kiltz like I'm a somebody. That's terrible. Zubaida AU81 is says hi from Sydney, Australia. So you got another Aussie.
Oh, hey there. Yeah, Melbourne here.
Yeah, that's awesome. You are bringing in all the Aussies lately, Lindy.
Anna's Aussie, and look, there's so many Aussies in SBG now. I'm like, this morning there was one from Sydney, and then someone else piped up and said, "Oh, hey, I'm from Melbourne." I'm like, I'm in Melbourne too. I was so excited. Awesome. I'm so happy to see more Aussies in there because it's not much of a community that I've found anyway. Everything's very US based, so nice to have some local support.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just started using a vibration plate, and that makes my legs itch like crazy. Yeah, but it does when you're first starting out. I guess it's moving all that lymphatic fluid around. It's probably been stagnant for a little while. So, what are you laughing at?
Michael's trolling me on Instagram right now.
Oh, well, poor Beck's got itchy legs, and you guys are laughing.
I know.
Oh, no, we're not laughing about that.
No, Michael. I just saw Michael.
I was watching Todd's face.
I know. I just saw Michael's message. I'm on Instagram and X and Facebook Live and Rumble and Twitch and something else here. I forget what it is.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. And so, anyways, I'm trying to make sure. Well, Michael's one tipping me on OnlyFans. So who does that say worse things about?
I read the news. That's all I know.
Yeah, right. You're there for the articles, whatever. Lines that crap. Oh man, but that is terrible. I think that's actually nerves, though. Because when you have itching things, Bexy, I think that's actually an encouraging sign, because I had neuropathy. I didn't think about this to the other day when that it was in SBG. We were in a SBG Zoom call. We do so many meetings lately. I forget where it all happened, but a gentleman was talking about how he had one of those lymphedema machines that shocks your feet to contract the muscles in your legs, and it causes your muscles to contract, and it pumps fluid out of your legs.
TENS unit. Yeah.
I bought one of those. You know what's crazy? I put my feet on them and it wouldn't do anything. I couldn't feel it. My neuropathy was so bad. Yeah. I picked up, so I even soaked my feet in water because I thought, oh, it's dry skin. I'm not making, I am an electrician, and so I'm like, I'm not making conduction. So I soaked my feet in salt water to make sure that I'd have conductivity. And I put my feet on it. I couldn't feel anything on the max setting. I think it was like 10 or 19 or something. I forget what it was. I had it on the max setting. So I was like, this thing's not working. I put it on my desk and put my arms on it, and my arms just went walked up on that stupid thing. I mean, it was like a horse fence. So that's how much neuropathy I had. I could not get even that electricity to feel anything in my feet. But to your credit here, Beck, I think what's happening is, at first, when my neuropathy was healing, first it went to pain, like fire.
Yeah.
And then it went to pins and needles, and then it went to itching like crazy. And then after itching, I started getting good blood circulation, good blood flow. Then I could feel, and then I was started to be able to move my toes independently, which I could move my toes a little bit, but they would all move at once. That's all I could do with my toes, was move them all at once a little. And now I can move all of my little piggly wiggly digits individually. So I think the nerves are working again. I think that's what you're actually dealing with, is you're waking up the nerves.
Yeah, so that's a good itch to have.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure.
I could see Todd sitting in bed. This little piggy went to market.
Hey,
this little piggy had roast beef.
Hey, a win's a win, sir. A win is a win.
Hi, Julie. So I guess oxalate dumping probably continues as long as you're losing weight. Removing toxins in the fat the body is trying to get rid of. Not looking forward to it, but better than the alternative. Absolutely. Better not being 800 pounds and stuck in a recliner, for sure. I'd rather have the loose skin and a few oxalate dumps here and there and have a bit of a life. So, yeah, it's a nice payoff, I guess. That's the worst of it. We can do it.
Tyler's in the house from Wyoming, and the Instagram. Very good to see you here, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Yeah, we all have so much. Yeah, it's gonna just take time, right? I mean, that's what I keep, like, right now. See how brown my face is? I hate it right now, and it's because I'm repriming. My body wants it. It's winter. I can't seem to eat enough steak right now, and I'm drinking water. And I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I'm so tired of worrying about things when my body doesn't care. It's not concerned if I have some poofy cheeks right now or whatever. It just wants to heal stuff. And I'm sitting here going, is it a coincidence that all of a sudden I got thirsty and my body wanted a lot of meat when it decided to push out a kidney stone? I'm going to go ahead and guess that it decided, okay, we're going to do a little maintenance right now and we're going to do a little detoxing. We're going to clean some house. I'm assuming that there's some of that going on. And I'm assuming that we just have to stop second guessing everything, and just let it run its course and do its thing. And so when we're hungry for meat, eat meat. When we're thirsty for water, drink water, and just let it clean out. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, shoot, you had 500 pounds of toxins to get rid of. I had 400 and some pounds of toxins to get rid of. It's just like crazy, right? And then we get mad at our body because it's not doing the things the way we want to do it. It's like, well, maybe if you wouldn't have dug this hole so deep, we could be more, whatever. But really, it's a miracle how good a job our bodies do.
Yeah, for sure.
Saying
Put it through a lot of torture, and we're getting better.
For sure.
What's Michael up to? You're distracting me.
Exactly.
Oh, is that you're laughing at women that have given birth say that passing a kidney stone is worse pain? Wow.
I can tell you this, that it was actually bad enough. And I mean, I hate, like, I know that all men hate hospitals, but I mean, I would have to basically be able to see my own organs in my hands before I'm going to go to a hospital. Like, I'm not going to hospital. And I did get dressed because I thought, I think I'm bleeding out. There's no way I can be in this much pain and be going flush white and having like shivering convulsions and not be bleeding out. Like, that's what I was worried about. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a kidney stone. And I'm pretty sure they're supposed to hurt this bad. But I'm also not so certain that something just didn't break or rupture or something, because it was so confusing. Now that I know what it feels like, as much as it'll suck if it ever happens again, and as nervous as it would make me to ever have that happen again, it wouldn't be so confusing. Like, there would almost be a little bit of peace in the pain, because then it would just be pain management until it went away. But yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Those things. That was
how good is it? The vibration plate kind of helped just distract your mind a little bit. Maybe it helped push it through. I don't know, but
it did.
Those things are miracles. Those vibration plates.
It is. I mean, I was trying, like, my brain was just telling me everything. It's like, you need to puke, and I tried to puke really hard, and it's like, you need to go to the bathroom. And I'm trying, and I was like, you need to walk, you need to stretch, touch your toes, jump up and down. Like, I was doing everything. It hurt so bad. That it's just that kind of pain that you try to like run from, because you're just like trying to shake it off, going,
how come you didn't live stream, Todd?
I should have. It would have been awesome. There would have been like Carnivore Cure's doing a 7-hour exercise marathon right now. An abstract exercise marathon.
You could pay bets when the stone drops.
Oh my gosh! What an absolute letdown that would have been, because I would have been pumping it up. This thing's got to be a record, and then like a tink. Oh man, that would have been terrible.
Hi, Carnivore Odyssey. I made Bella's air fryer tuna patties, and they were delicious. Such a nice change. I haven't tried that. Yeah. So they weren't dry at all. I'm really funny with tuna. I find it really dry to eat, but I've heard a few people say they were really great, really good. So I might have to give it a go.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite things. My mom was not a good cook growing up. Okay, she was not, and I did not like my mom's food. But one of the things my mom did make that I liked was she'd make salmon patties, and she'd get canned salmon. She'd get saltine crackers. She'd get egg yolks. And then she'd make a Miracle Whip, a little dip for them. And those things were pretty tasty. I loved those. I'd eat those. Yeah, they were delicious. So every once in a while I get a hankering from those. So I bet the tuna ones would be delicious too, for sure.
Hmm.
And she followed up and she says they were tender and moist.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
Sounds
Oh,
really good.
That
to
sounds
give
good.
it a try. I've heard a lot of people say they were really tender, but I don't know. I just got that mental thing from when I've cooked them in the past, but they weren't even carnival, so they had other crap in there. So that's probably why they were dry.
For sure.
Mm. I've had stones. I know the pain. It's the way you touch.
Oh, my brain's broke. So I have to laugh at everything or else I cry. Cry at the kidney stone pain. It's all what do you call it? Ruse. do, not, do not cry about my kidney stones.
So Julie tried the Kilts ice cream today, hoping to up my fat intake. Didn't really like it. I haven't tried the Kilts ice cream because I love my ice cream and I don't think I'd be able to moderate it, so I purposely haven't tried it. Have you guys tried it?
No,
I have a Ninja Creamy, and when I was keto, I made all sorts of things into ice cream. For a pro tip, the best things that I used to like on keto to make into ice cream was the keto chows, but you need about 1.5. So when you freeze things, they lose a bunch of. Yeah, every ice cream has to have a way higher concentrated flavor because when you freeze it and it's cold on your tongue, it's not as strong. So it just blands everything down, dulls your taste buds down. So you need extra. But I got to be a master at making keto chow into some banging ice cream with the Ninja Creamy. I mean, wonderful. But it was not helping me because it was super palatable. It was sweet. And so I'm just worried that if I played with carnivore ice cream, my brain would go to that, like I already overdo it with dairy if I have it, like just give me cheese and I'll eat too much of it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to do it with ice cream. So I stay far, far away from that.
Yeah, I don't do dairy because it's too tempting for me, but I did buy myself a Ninja Creamy and I thought I'm going to try my colada recipe in there, which is the egg yolks, and I've got some, I think, gelatin supposed to make it sort of the right consistency. I haven't tried it. It's still in a box sitting on my kitchen table. So it's on my list of things to do. So
For sure.
yeah. I know you love your tallow and even bought a vanilla one, but there's something about the smell of tallow I just cannot deal with. I really wanted to love it.
I concur. And I understand exactly what you mean. The smell is one of the biggest. The smell and this weird, especially with the box tallow or the prepackaged tallow. Now, one thing I'll say is I just made my first batch of homemade tallow, and that does not have that smell or taste. So that's actually better. But what I will tell you, that's why my favorite thing to mix with tallow is Tabasco, because that vinegar profile and the spicy cayenne takes and the kind of salt that's in there, because that's all that's in Tabasco,
Yeah.
really takes that smell and that kind of I don't know, commercially chemically packaged taste away from it, and it covers it up good. So that's. But I agree with you. Same reason I can't do ghee. That bitter, weird, funky. It tastes bitter and it smells like dirty toes or something. I mean, it's gross. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, and I don't eat it plain like Bella does with the sticks of butter. I stay away from butter because I just don't think it's good for me. Like with the dairy, I just stay away from all dairy. And the tallow, I just pop it on my steak bits, which are salted, so I don't get all that that smell and whatever. I eat it with the steak. Yeah.
Right.
I just need to get the fat in, and it makes the meat go down as well with my lactose. I need that fat to help it go down. So don't do that. My teeth hurt when you do that.
That's one thing I got is strong teeth. Those will never. These things have opened 10,000 bottle caps.
A week ago, you said you wouldn't get kidney stones either.
I did not. I've never said that. I didn't think I would. I've never felt like it, but I never said that. But my teeth are strong like ox.
So when are you migrating to Rumble so we can say what we actually think? Todd is over on Rumble right now. All of his videos there. We're just working on thumbnails now, just tidying things up. Betty is there, but we have to do a stream over there one day so you can speak your mind.
We do. And I mean, I'm live on Rumble right now, Tim, but so you can go over to my channel on Rumble and you can see me over there. But what we're planning on, so we're going to do a Christmas special and we're going to do a giveaway and we're all going to be over on Rumble, but we'll be on YouTube too, so that people know that we're over on Rumble, because I have 1% of the subscribers on Rumble that I do on YouTube right now. So, but we're going to do just like I'm live right now on YouTube and I'm live right now on Rumble. We're all going to do that on Christmas. But the thing is, for you to be entered into the drawing like we did last year, and we're going to do at least $1,000 worth of gift card drawings and maybe more. In order for you to do that, you have to be subscribed and comment and like in Rumble. And so to people that are in YouTube only, because that's how the algorithm works, is it only pulls, see how we do the drawing is from comments in the comment section. There's a software that pulls up all the comments, the names of the people in there. And so you have to be in the Rumble comments. It won't take it from the YouTube comments. So we will not be doing it from any of the YouTube comments. We'll only be doing it from the Rumble side. And hopefully that'll get people migrated over there so that we're not talking to the wall. And then I want to start doing more on Rumble, because and this is not going to get better. It's going to get worse, because right now, the things that I can't talk about right now, even to explain this thoroughly, what I'm thinking, but with the current administration and the things that are about to happen to big companies that shan't be named, they're gonna be really censoring people that are making it worse. They're gonna really want to shut down that conversation, because they're about to lose some massive dollars, and those people are massive, massive stakeholders in the platform that you're watching us on right now. So that's why we got to get moved over there. And it's great, but I mean, I won't go there, but we're winning this culture war. That's all I'm going to say. And so now is a perfect time to make the switch and build some momentum when it counts. So I say no better time than the present. My feet and toes still numb. Tim, hang in there, man. I like, I've heard Ken Berry say this and all the doctors agree. Mylon is the slowest thing to grow back, but it absolutely does grow back. It just takes time. So
one of my feet, I've actually got a spot just underneath my toes, my little toes, that it's still numb there. So I'm not 100% over my neuropathy. So my left foot, I do like Life Pro, especially to mitigate leg cramps. I get cramp behind the shin above the ankle that does not relieve in any other way. Yeah, I get them sometimes on the front of my ankle, and I don't know which way to put my feet to stretch it out. So I jump on the vibration plate, and that kind of shakes it out. I'd be lost without my plate.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I just find so many uses for them. It's so good, to get rid of the cramps. It was so good to help with the pain for this kidney stone thing. It's so good to get loosened up so that you can lift and you're a little more flexible. It's so good to move lymphatic fluid and open up the thoracic ducts in your lymphatic system. But it's also good to shake out lactic acid after a workout. I mean, they have a million uses. I mean, what a great tool, man.
And I use it before bed to help relax me. Sometimes I'm working right up to the hour, and then I go to bed and my eyes pop open and can't sleep. So I jump on the vibration plate just in the dark and just stand there, and that kind of relaxes me, and then I can go to sleep.
Right.
It's been really, really helpful. Kidney pain on top of spinal damage is hell, and if you don't know which or both to blame, poor Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra, I feel for you there, because when that was going on, I didn't understand what was happening, because at first it felt like a mule kicked me in the back, and I was like, did I just slip a disc or something? Do I have a pinched nerve? And then it was doing that thing where I mean, I don't know, where I couldn't tell if I wanted to throw up, poop, or cry. Like I couldn't tell. Like there's so many bad things going on all at once. I was like, what is happening right now? It made no sense. And then as it went on, it moved around my side and then to the front of my side. And it was doing its thing. But yeah, I could totally see that. There's so many things going through my head because I had just gotten a new primal rib roast and a new primal strip loin roast, and I had just cut like 4 or 5 hours earlier. I just cut a steak off each one of them. I'm like, is this what salmonella is like? You know, did I get food poison? Do I have salmonella? Did I slip a disc? Did I pinch a nerve? Because I was kind of sitting in this chair when it happened, kind of like this. And I was like, did I pinch something? You know, is somebody like poking needles in a voodoo doll with a hat right now?
That was me over here poking him. Poking LT.
What is going on? Just because it came out of nowhere. Like there was no sign of it. And then it was like, hey, 0 to holy crap, worst pain ever in like 60 seconds. I was like, holy crap, what is this? It was really weird. Is that immediate pain where you're like, I've never felt this before, and something tells me this is not going away right away? It was just too crazy.
Hi, Gary from Eastern Montana. So is that you in Eastern Montana?
I'm in Western Montana, but I'm from Miles City, Montana originally. That's probably if you in the 80s, if you saw the food supply go down, that was me. I did that.
So Gary's going to start his third 72-hour fast in 3 weeks. Everything seems to be going good. Anything to watch out for?
Yes. So the first thing you need to watch out for is being cold. Like if you get really cold or if brain fog, those are the two biggest things, is being cold and brain fog. Brain fog will come on first, but if you can't string together sentences, you can't focus well, you know, then and you kind of, it's something you kind of have to experience, but you don't want to be white knuckling anything first of all. Like fasts are good unless you have a slow metabolism. So I don't know, Gary, if you're not in the steak and butter gang. We are all in the steak and butter gang here, and we're big advocates for them. We do not get paid to say that, but we all donate time over there a lot to help out. And it's because we really believe in their program, but they have a program called priming, which is eating to nourish the body to heal the metabolism, heal metabolic disease. Because if your metabolism and you already have metabolic disease is slow, the fasting is just going to hurt you. And it's just it's kind of a waste of time. It's actually going to make things worse. But if you heal first and you heal your metabolic disease and you prime first, basically filling this nutrient deficit that most of us have all been in, then it brings up your metabolism to a healthy clip, and then you fast and you get huge results out of it, and it feels good. And so you don't want to white knuckle a fast. But at any rate, what I was saying is you can have a little bit of hard time focusing because you're feeling a lot of things and it's a distracting. I'm not talking about a distracting loss of focus. I'm talking about like your brain can't seem to reach the information. Like your brain's just not functioning well. That's a real sign that your metabolism is in the toilet and you shouldn't be fasting. And that will be quickly followed up, usually about 12 hours later, 6 to 12 hours later, with you getting cold. You're going to start to get cold. And those are the real things to watch out for. Also, cramping. If you drink too much water, it's a natural thing to think you want to kind of pacify yourself through the fast by drinking a bunch of water, but drinking too much water will take out your electrolytes pretty quick. I did that one on a 21-day fast one time. Hurt myself by filtering out all the potassium, and I wasn't putting it in. So that's really bad. But yeah, just I wouldn't do it without without priming first. But let us know if you've primed or if that's something you've considered. So you guys have any tips for Gary?
You guys are the fastest. Michael's had a really big fast as well. So yeah, I don't fast a lot.
fasting's great as long as you're metabolically healthy and your metabolism's up. If it's in the tank, it's actually going to make things worse.
And the colder weather makes it tougher.
For sure.
Just make sure you don't white nail it, or
White knuckle
it.
Nail biting, white knuckling, those are bad. Shaking like a monkey, crapping a peach seed, those are all bad signs.
Craven, got your Grubhub on your phone ready to go.
Right. Like, I will give you $2,000 right now. Bring it at 4 a.m.
So the Kidney Foundation recommends lemon water a couple times a week to dissolve kidney stones. Okay. I do love lemon. I used to have just a slice of lemon in my hot water at night instead of a tea. I occasionally still do that because I do like a bit of flavour. Yep. So you can try that, Todd. Prevent any future stones, just in case.
It could also be why, knock on wood, that I haven't had kidney stones, because I do drink a lot of lemon juice in my tea and stuff like that. So that could be why too.
Yeah. And that could have been, and maybe that saved me in the beginning when I was drinking my lemon drink, because I used to drink that quite often. But yeah, I might have to try that again. I'm praying I don't get any more of those. I don't know exactly why they came. I think it was actually the furosemide, but you live and you learn. So, and so I think that's probably where it came from. But I will definitely, if I start to feel like I'm getting another one, I might throw a little bit of lemon water back in the routine for sure.
You got 30 seconds, so you didn't get much fording with the other one.
Right. Right, for sure. I'm just, if I get one more, then I'm going to have to figure that there's a pattern here.
Navy Duck Charlie, hi. Hello all. Todd, speaking of oxalates, 2 to 3 weeks ago, you were talking about the teeth buildup. I hear that oxalates, I find if you swish with ACV for 2 to 3 minutes as needed and then brush it, breaks it up.
I'll definitely have to. Maybe that's why my body was wanting vinegar at that time. Because that's time that I was getting that whatever buildup. I don't, I figured it was, because anybody that's been in ketosis for a while there, you detox and you get this weird ketone breath that's kind of gross and you get this slimy film. And that's what I thought it was some sort of mineralization of the teeth from the gases that you're breathing out, the ketones. But that at that same time, out of nowhere, my body, you guys remember my apple cider vinegar phase where I could just about drink that stuff out of the bottle at that time. Maybe that's what was going on there, Navy Doc.
Is too much ACV bad for your teeth anyway? Because I think I've heard a few people say you shouldn't be keeping it in your mouth. You need to wash it out.
That's what I heard too, but
yeah.
The enamel.
It would help with the breakup, but once it's gone, you don't want to be using it after that. So, yeah. Really good point Todd makes. If we listen to our body to restrict, why we can't listen to our body when it asks for priming.
Right, for sure. I know, Tim, I'm going to get a little religious-y or preachy for a second, but I know, Tim, and that's a funny point too, because we do that with, let's say, our spirit or our conscience, whatever you want to call it. When we'll listen to it when it agrees with us, but we won't listen to it if we got our mind made up. Same kind of deal. We have to have a little more faith in that in our body for sure.
After you passed it, did the pain leave right away?
Yes, for the most part, all that was left was this feeling. You ever held the pee too long and then you finally go in it, you have that like just crazy bladder pressure and then you finally go and pee, but for like an hour later, your bladder still just feels a little bit funny, like you have that weird kind of like I held it too long, kind of dull, funny feeling, that's what it felt like, but on steroids for like another 2 hours after I passed it, it just stayed there and it just made you think you had to pee. So you'd be in there trying to pee because it's just telling your mind you had to pee, but nothing, hardly anything would come out. And it's like, oh man. So it just makes you like the pain is gone. But then there's this intense urge for like a few more hours, like you still have to pee for some reason. It's weird, and there's nothing there, so it's just some sort of inflammation, muscle cramp type thing that's going on. I don't know, but it was weird sensation for sure. That it was that part. I mean, that all took about 9.5, 10 hours total to kind of work its course.
And speaking of living your life, I have exciting news. I'm about to sell my house to my son and build a little house for me in the backyard. My NSV is that I will be comfortable in these smaller spaces.
That's
That's
awesome.
my dream, and I want a little tiny home. I want my daughter to buy a farm with a little lake that I can build my tiny home on. I'm going to have an aviary attached to mine, which is bigger than my tiny home for my birds. I'm all set, just waiting for my daughter to buy this farm. But good job.
I feel
That'd be
so
nice.
I feel so bad for Scott's toes right now.
He said Scott was living in my tiny home.
He's got to build his own tiny home.
He can have his man shed or something on the other side of the lake, and we might sort of wave at each other.
That's
yeah,
funny.
No. Stuck off an anti-inflammatory meds suppository form for the next time works a treat.
Man, I don't even want to think about that. I pray.
Hi, Lisa from Idaho.
From Idaho. Welcome, neighbor.
Yeah, I'm an abstainer, so staying far away from all carnivore treats. I'm with you, Anna. Yeah.
For sure.
Too tempting.
Way too.
Oh, this was a body cream, Todd. I don't mind cooking with tallow. Yeah, for my legs. Yep.
Are you telling me I've been eating body cream this whole time? That's why I don't like this.
I think I heard Nisha Berry say she rubbed bacon grease on her, and then the dog wouldn't leave her alone. So, yeah, no. I've got the one I get has like a lemongrass scent, so it still smells tallowy, but it's got that little bit of lemon in it. But look, it relieves the itching pain, so I don't mind. It's not like I was going out or anything. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've been using some of that tallow body stuff or face lotion that I got from Wyoming. It's pretty good, and it doesn't smell like anything really. So that's kind of interesting. I think the regular tallow smells more. Jammer has an NSV for us.
Is this rugby or
it's football? Yeah,
is that like
real football, not the foot one.
Aussie rules, mate. Aussie rules is real football.
Aussie rules is a schizophrenic football game. If you've ever seen it, you'd have to watch it. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, my husband made the boys watch a quarter
match. It was a combination of football, soccer, baseball,
basketball, dribbling the ball. Yeah.
Sandra is trying to give me a warning to the wise. I know.
No. Yeah, the ACV. Whoops.
Oh, man.
Oh, we did have a date, and it's on a piece of paper in my office.
It is.
You got it there?
It's going to be the 14th of December.
14th of December.
Write that down in this office. There you go.
Yes.
We should do a thumbnail for it.
I'll
add it to my list of things to do.
Yeah, we better get it. Better get it scheduled too pretty quick. But see, we got to get Restream working for that one because I'd like to do it on Restream. So I got my homework to do for me.
I was messing around with Restream today. I'm not happy.
You don't like it?
Rumble doesn't work with it. Rumble doesn't work with it. The chat's not going to work with it.
Okay. All right. Well then I guess we're staying StreamYard. StreamYard, you're lucky. They doubled their fees. They'd have less stream bandwidth. Their service is crumbling, but maybe I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out. Restream, you need to pick up your game.
Did you add any sweetener to the Kiltsis ice cream? I think that was for the
Oh, I
with
gotcha.
the
All right.
other comment.
Hey, this is a Rumble comment. Oh, because you found me on Rumble. That's right. Thank you so much. I thought somebody's watching on Rumble. Let me see how many people I got on.
There's a few coming in that we have that I got.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on Rumble. This is going to be great. Hey, there's Missy.
Hi, Missy. Finishing up at work and will be listening on my way home.
Thanks so much. Drive safe, Missy.
Yes.
Appreciate you so much.
Okay, Dr. Eric Bird, DC recommends taking vitamin B1, bento, neuropathy in feet and hands.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I did that for months, Jammer, and it must have worked. I definitely did that. See, I started a huge Dr. Berg fan, and I had all of his vitamins, and I was taking like $900 a month worth of Dr. Berg supplements. I was putting them down, and the ancestral, what was it? But who were those things? I was trying to remember the name. I think they're ancestral. All the decimated freeze dried like liver capsules and kidney capsules and heart. I was doing all that stuff, and I took a bunch of it. And now I realized that the meat just does fine. Just eat more. Put all that money into meat and just really cram like go hard in the paint with the meat. And I've been doing that a lot lately, but that works for me just as good as most of the supplements. The only thing I have to really supplement is iodine, and I do take amino acids because mainly I just got on the amino acid therapy kick. I don't think that they're doing much difference anymore. I think they made a big difference for the first 6 months, but now the only thing that I really seem to be in still a deficit is the iodine, for sure. I do not know. I don't know. I don't know if you do or you don't, to be honest with you, but I think that you do because just like YouTube, where they want to be able to push you notifications and stuff, and if you don't have a YouTube account, they can't push you notifications.
Yeah, so I think there's ads unless you pay for a premium. I don't have a premium Rumble. I can't afford to pay for two lots. So
You can watch without being logged into an account. You just can't comment.
right. Okay.
Rachel on Instagram says, "Howdy from Perth, Western Australia. I am tuning. Feels like I'm sitting with you guys around the fire, chatting and laughing along." Well, thank you so much, Rachel. That is awesome.
Hi,
So
Rachel.
So glad you're joining us.
Yes, Monday morning. The dog lover. I went over to Rumble. You're coming in good, but I can't see where to comment. I'm on a tablet. Do I have to be on a different device?
I think you do. Yeah. I think on live streams, you got to be on a different device. You have to be on a phone or a laptop or a desktop. But for whatever reason, I don't know why, but even YouTube lives. So YouTube, what is it? YouTube vertical lives do that same thing when you're on a tablet or a TV screen. It takes away the chat box for some reason, the live chat. I don't know why.
Best bet, desktop computer.
Yeah,
Michael is super old school. He's not wrong, but for sure.
I decided to run over here to see how it's working.
Thank you so much. Well,
and then the other thing you might want to do too is they do have a Rumble app, I believe. So that should be up in your app store. You should be able to install that, and that might have the chat features and all that stuff built into that instead of going through like a web browser.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're still learning the platform ourselves.
Yeah.
Rachel on Instagram says, "Lindy, yes, it's Monday morning, except here it's last month of spring." Lindy's in Melbourne, so she's in the same weather pattern as you, Rachel.
I've got my heater on down here. Like summer or spring hasn't even hit here. Although the sun is out today, but it's cold in my house. So again, nice to see more Aussies chiming in. I love it.
Here you go. If you're watching Rumble on a phone, you have to have the app. That might help with the chat problem too if you get the Rumble app.
Or
So,
you can maybe switch it over. Some web browsers have that you can enable on like phones and tablets and stuff like that. You turn it into a desktop version of the app. The web browser, and then you'll pull up the desktop version.
Oh, that's awesome. Apple cider vinegar is terrible for your teeth. I got you.
Yeah. They do say it has a lot of benefits. I don't have it personally, but I did hear you should clean your mouth or just chase it down with water to get it out of your mouth.
Yeah. Let's see. No sweeteners in Kiltz's ice cream.
So that's the thing, these carnival treats. How far do you go? Like you're just sort of keeping those old habits and patterns there, which are too tempting for someone like me who relies on that stuff for comfort. So, yeah. I can't. I'm so happy that I let the sweet palate die, and just be done. Like it's not a flavor profile I look for anymore, because I can't trust it. Yeah. And also not having snacks. I don't want a snack. I don't just eat for the sake of eating. If I'm hungry, I eat a meal and then that's it. And I don't eat again until I sit down and have another meal. If I start snacking, then yeah.
I used to bring all my meals and sit right here and eat, and I don't do that anymore. I stay in the kitchen, I eat, leave the food in there, and I don't bring nothing out here.
Right.
They're good patterns to have. Howdy from Rockdale, Texas. It's great to see you all again.
Hey, Lisa. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in.
Good memories in Texas.
For sure. Can't wait to get back there.
Yeah. Just heavy creams, yolks, and a pinch of salt.
For sure.
Yeah. It does sound very plain, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think it's one of those things. Like, I think for some people it'll be good. Well,
on a hot day, can't beat it.
No, and it's just like for some people, like Dr. Phil, he talks about how just freezing butter tabs taste like sweet chocolate to him when he eats frozen butter pads. And I'm like, meh, probably not for me. But I am surprised that certain things now, like when I go back to sour cream, I'm surprised that sour cream tastes very, very sweet to me now. Just that.
It does. Yeah. I'm wondering what would happen if you freeze this and have it as an icy cold. That might be it.
Yeah.
And it'd be different texture. That might actually be not too bad.
That'd be interesting.
Huh. Could try that.
Has anyone seen Kiwi Keith lately?
Yeah.
Kiwi Keith is going through a little bit of family stuff. He's got a ill family member. And so he's taking a little break right now because it's all hands on deck type of thing. But our thoughts and prayers are with him. And we are pulling for him. We can't wait till he gets back and we can all kind of help him back on his feet. Because I know he's going through some tough stuff right now. So we are all praying for him.
Yeah. Love you.
Yeah. Speaking of Kiwis.
Good to stay here in New Zealand. Cool weather. Ooh, so jealous. Yeah, we do have sunshine, and I think we might get the hot tub going. My husband finishes work, I think, in an hour. I think it's time. Because even when I get out, it's going to be like a cold plunge, isn't it? Even though I'm getting out of it, it'll be really cold. And it's
71 degrees in Melbourne right now. It's nice.
So what's that? I don't even know what the temperature is. No idea.
21.6.
Oh, is it? Yeah, no, it's like about 6 in the house. It's cold now.
We'll definitely make sure that he gets your message, Sandra. And Rachel says, except I love fireplace, but not today. It's getting warmer. I love the fireplace on wintry day in the northern hemisphere, like where you are. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's cold here. Trust me. I went and looked at infrared saunas today because, as it would turn out, winter is a little less enjoyable when you're 300 pounds lighter. Like, now I know what you guys have been complaining about. This weather's horse crap.
You do feel the cold.
You do. And I was just like, this is not, see this? I'm inside with heat on, and this is a flannel shirt because I don't know, I've just turned into a schoolgirl or something. Like, it's cold in here. I'm tired of it. So, for sure. And I thought right now my garage isn't heated, and that's my gym. And I thought, I'll work up a sweat out there. I can't work up a good sweat, not to be freezing out there right now. And I'm like, oh no, I have totally miscalculated this. I need to get.
Yeah. But it snows where you are too, so it is much colder than what we have here. So.
Oh yeah, there's snow on the ground outside. It's snowing right now.
Yeah. Gee, yeah, I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah, for sure. Winter is good when you hit menopause. Well, I'll try it.
I've been having hot flushes the last couple of weeks, and I'm just like, I've got my jumper on, I take my arms out, and I just sit it with it wrapped around my neck because I'm ready to pull it down again, on and off. It's awful.
For sure.
Yeah.
No worries, Tim. We'll give you a hand with it. We'll give you a hand with it next week, and we'll get you on there. It's not sometimes when they do the verification emails, you have to, it's either in your spam folder or something. Sometimes it can take a while. It's a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, Melbourne weather is similar to Wellington, so I always feel at home there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Montana's 46 right now.
Wait a minute. No, it's not.
That's what it says.
It was snowing. Unless it warmed up, it was snowing like 4 hours ago. It was very light, but let me.
46, I'm 54.
You're in Chicago, right, Michael?
It might have warmed up, I guess. Oh, it is 45. All right, it did warm up. I don't know.
Just quit your bitching.
I told you I turned into a schoolgirl. I don't know what you want from me. Let's see here. There's always Texas. Don't tempt me with a good time. I might be down there.
You got the warm weather. You got steaks.
Oh, your steaks are way cheaper.
Square dancing.
Easy. That's
Is it line dancing? Or
Todd
is square dancing as well?
Todd wants to do square dancing.
Easy. In Montana, the only dancing
Scorpions.
The scorpions. Now that's a problem. The scorpions a problem. Yes. In Montana, I think they do country swing dancing is what it's called. You can do that, but anything, you can do a little square dancing, but that's a little bit, you got to be in a barn to do that. But line dancing? Nope. No, sir. We don't do that here.
Okay. I've lived in north of Auckland and south of Christchurch, a world of difference, now Western Australia. Nice, all beautiful places. I haven't been to Western Australia though, so that's on my list of things to do one day.
For sure. Let's see. All right, am I missing anybody? I'm just gonna go check these other platforms. I think we caught up. We need more. We need more questions. Somehow we caught up.
Does anybody want to jump on for a chat?
Look at Beth saying she's still running the AC in Texas.
That's kind of brutal too. It depends. I think right now my favorite temperature is about 69, 72 degrees, right in there. I'm a little bit volatile right now. You get over about 72, it gets hot and I get crabby. And it gets under about really about 65 or something, it starts getting cold, and I'm like, what is going on? That's never been me ever, you know? But it's pretty funny. Yeah. I think that well, I'll have to talk to Michael here, but I think I'd like to. I wonder if there's any other stream sites that work better than this.
No, I'd have to do some research.
I don't know. We'll have to look at it. I know I don't like Riverside. Riverside seems to be a steaming pile of flaming dog crap. But I think it's weird that it doesn't work with Rumble, that Restream doesn't work with Rumble.
It does, but it doesn't. The chat won't go through.
Well, so I'd have to have it open on different. What to make it hard?
And you won't be able to display it on a screen. I could probably come up with something, but
oh, man, that sucks. All right, well, we'll have to figure that out, I reckon, because I was hoping I like the idea of having more outstreams, of that. And then I like the fact that you can put the whole chat up on the video and restream.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Because if trolls come in, it's going to pop up on the screen, and then it's tied into your video.
We don't get trolls.
Did you see your Instagram comments?
Oh yeah, my Instagram gets trolls for sure.
We only get trolls when Bella joins us. When Bella say we get a lot of trolls, but
we don't have a big enough fan club to be trolled.
Our Christmas live will be on the 14th of December.
Yep. 14th of December. And we're gonna give away gift cards like before.
This time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe I don't know. We're trying to see if there's any fun things, air fryers or whatever. That would be fun gift idea, carnivore gift ideas we might put in there as well. So yeah, that's going to be a good time.
Todd might have his glitter hat on.
Yes, I saved my glitter hat. I'm going to have to take it out of the cryo chamber that I sealed it in to keep the glitter from contaminating the earth and taking over and starting the zombie apocalypse. But for Christmas, I'll break it back out. We will risk a new outbreak of glitter.
Glitter bomb.
Glitter bomb.
I know YouTubers couldn't make Rumble work or pay. Couldn't make Rumble work or pay.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it'll work. Because Russell Brand's on there, Steven Crowder's on there. I'm tipping my hat already, aren't I? But these people that I watch are on there in droves, and Ken Berry's on there, and some of the carnivore sphere. It's just going to take longer, is all. And I mean, as it is, it takes a long time to build anything, so it just takes longer over there. However, I do believe that, there will be a synergetic momentum shift and more people will start going over there because there's going to, this divide between propaganda and truth is widening and people are more aware now that it exists, that there's a propaganda war going on and people are looking for the truth now. And we just saw that play out in the data. So people are going to want to go over there. And the more that we get over there, the better their software will run, the more plugins there will be, the more software that there will be out there to accommodate them. And then we won't have a monopoly anymore. So we kind of got to do our part in the free market to, give them the support that they need to actually compete. If we want a free speech platform to compete, we have to do our part, which means we're going to have to suck it up and deal with some glitchy stuff for a little while. And we just got to do it, but they're getting better for sure.
Yeah, we all want to see Todd and his little soapbox, so we can only do that over there.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, how stupid is it? I mean, trying to figure out, I always got to map out my rant now. How stupid. I mean, Would any of us would have guessed in the United States 15 years ago that we would have to watch our tongue like this?
Nope.
Or be disenfranchised? Did anybody see what just happened in Florida with FEMA? I'm just going to say that. And look what they actually wrote in the policy of FEMA in Florida. Look what the marching orders in their actual policy that's come down that got exposed. And so we can, so that everybody can see what we're really dealing with, you know? I mean, that is crazy. And I won't go into it much further than that, but just look that up and see it's all over the news now. And I mean, it's going to get huge. This is going to be one of the more ugly things that's happened in a long time. There's going to be a reckoning.
Oh, and they removed them.
Funny guy. But just look that up, because this is why it's not, it's not tinfoil hat stuff. It's real, and we have to go fight it. And if we're gonna get healthier, we got to do our part, and we got to vote with our dollar, and we got to put up with some inconveniences, because these powerful companies have monopolies on our technology and on our platforms and how we interact. But it's getting better, and right now we have quite the shift that we should really maximize this momentum right now to vote with our dollars and really put these people away, because these companies, we gotta level the playing field, right? They're gonna stop getting these payoffs and these handouts, and the real numbers are gonna come down, and they're losing their audience in droves because of the lies they've been pushing for the last, well, definitely 12 years for sure. I cannot name it just right now, but go look up what FEMA did during the hurricane in Florida and what they actually wrote in their policies, and it'll absolutely set you on fire. You will be so mad. It's crazy. And I mean, this is verified. It's not a guess. They really did this. Go check it out. And on a lighter note.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. Have you all noticed your skin acting different in the sun or uncanny? We've had tanning weather here, and I'm so surprised that I'm not burning at all. Just going golden brown. I hear that so much, but my English from my dad complexion, I still burn, unfortunately. Yeah. You look nice and tan, Todd. You've been out and about, so.
It is weird. Me and Phil were talking about this because, my complexion would go from pasty white with dark circles under my eyes and dry, flaky skin with red inflamed spots around my nose and my lips and on my eyebrows, around my ears. And now, and then that's what it'd be like. And then if I went out to the sun, I would turn bright red like a pomegranate, and then turn peely and pussy and have sun blisters everywhere. And that was it. I was either blistered and red and peeling, or I had pasty dry skin with dark circles under my eye and like these weird little flare-ups around my nose and stuff. That was it. And then all of a sudden now I don't burn, I don't get red, but I actually tan. And then we haven't had sun. I cannot believe how much tan I carried throughout this whole year, because we've been on fire. Like, we've had forest fires most of the summer and fall, and it blocks out the sun. So that, I mean, you still can get a suntan even though you don't think that the sun's really there. It's there, but still, it hasn't been super intense, and I didn't get to spend much time in it. But the little bit of time that I did get in it, working in the sun, it carried a tan all the way through fall here and going into winter. And I'm like, how does that work? And it just turns out that healthy skin doesn't burn, and it holds a little bit of pigment. And I don't know, it's just crazy. It's so crazy how different healthy skin acts. It's so silly.
I'm wondering it's because I've been in the house most of the time, I hardly get outside, so maybe I just need to ease it in. Because the first time I got burnt, I was on a cruise ship in New Zealand, and I was sitting there watching a ship on the ocean, and I'm like, I'm not going to get burnt, because Kerry Mann told me I wouldn't get sunburned. And I did. I was the only one on the ship that was bright red like a tomato. And then also last year, I think I was just sitting out on the deck and I just had a V-cut dress on, and I had it was bright red just on my chest and tops of my arms and on my ankles from the sun. So bright red. But I didn't peel and I didn't blister, so that is a difference. But maybe if I just not sit out for 20 minutes at a time, it might be better.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I did burn the first time that I went out in the sun because I was cocky about it, and I went out for like, I don't know, a good hour and 20 minutes in some pretty direct sun, and I got a burn on my arm, right? Because I was wearing a tank top and I got a pretty good burn on my arm. But that was the only time I burned, and even that turned tan. It did peel like crazy, but it turned tan. You know, wasn't too bad. So for sure. But I think what I just started doing was, and my brother, who tans a lot more than me, said, when you start feeling the little funny tingle on your face, that's your first warning sign to get out of the sun. Because he goes, after that, it starts going downhill. And so I would just go out at lunch when the sun was straight up, and I bought one of those zero gravity chairs, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have? Yep. And I bought one of those, and I sat outside the garage, and I would just go out there and I would eat my steak for about 20 minutes in the sun, and I would get that little tingly feeling. And then it was kind of funny because I had a plate-sized shadow on my chest that didn't tan because I was eating steak. But I would go out and get a little sun because I wanted to see what it would do. To get the sun and the vitamin D and to see if it would start moving fat. And it did definitely mobilize fat. When I lost that extra 70 pounds when I got back from Texas, it was greatly due to being in the sun, which is the main motivation that I have for getting a sauna, an infrared sauna, and why I'm leaning toward the infrared sauna. Ooh, this is a good question. Out there, you sauna people that are way smarter than me, can you tell me what these salt therapy saunas are all about and if they're worth it? Because I keep seeing these infrared saunas seem to be tied in with these salt therapy saunas, which has something to do with you breathing in salt in the air, which like dries out your lungs and stuff, which is supposed to be good for asthma, and it's supposed to be some kind of therapy. But weigh in on that, because I'm like, how's it getting the salt, and what kind of salt is it exactly? And does that mean I'm going to have to buy bags and bags of, like good salt? Because if they're putting just cheap, crappy salt that we shouldn't be eating, then I probably shouldn't be breathing it, you know? So I brought up.
Is there somewhere where you can go to test these, like an infrared versus a salt one, before you actually invest in one? Go and try it and see how you react to it.
There is, but they're in public areas, and I have man breasts that hang down to my navel cavity, so I really don't want to go sauna with my moobs hanging out with a bunch.
You should live stream during that, Todd.
I should live stream. No, if I'm being totally honest, I thought about that and I was like, nope, I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna research. I don't feel like maybe after I get the skin surgery, but right now, just like I told you, I was laughing that right now the soundtrack to my life is that John Mayer song Gravity. I keeps going.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you contact them and just say, hey, do you mind if I come in either before they open or after hours, just to try it out? I'm sure they'd understand.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, I don't. I just don't want to. I don't want to at all. Like, I'm just gonna go for it. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna get a different one. Like, I would rather like go Uber extra hours or something if I wanted to make some extra money and pay for my mistake than go through all that. So it's just like, no, I'm gonna research the best I can. I'm gonna get the consensus from the people, and then I'm just buying one. So
yeah, I totally get you. I'd love to get one, but I won't, because the same reason, but I can't afford to make a mistake either. So
right, I don't
keep dreaming about it.
Right, I don't want to scare the women and children. Like, what is happening right now? Okay, I'll look it up. Shouldn't we be able to talk about current events and everything is so crazy? We should be able to, and this is what we have to do. We all, as soon as we all decide that you damn right we should be able to, and so we're gonna, and we're going to go to the place that we can actually do that without people forcibly trying to stop us, that's when things will change. Because at the end of the day, it's our complacency that keeps paying their bills. I mean, this is what I talk about. Got to stay off the soapbox on here, but this is what I talk about when I say we're at war and I don't go and eat birthday cake for my birthday because I'm not going to fund the terrorists and I don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm not going to fund the war that is on us. And this is the same reason that we need to get off YouTube and go to Rumble as much as we can and go to X as much as we can, because we should not fund the war on free, against free speech. We should not fund these people that are trying to destroy us. We should stop lining their pockets because we vote every time we consume, and we all have to take the hit. We have to pay a little more. We have to put up with a little bit more, but we have to make it hurt. Right now, they just want to keep us complacent and they want to keep us bought off with, all with a monopoly. Right. And they just want to keep us distracted and just be like, oh, there's nothing we can do. We all just have to do it. They think that they can outlast us and that they can wear us down, that we won't do it consistently. But the thing is if collective consciousness is a real thing, and that's kind of what we're seeing play out right now. You've heard me talk about the monkeys and the coconuts before, probably. But, what was it? They dropped there's a island full of monkeys, or there's an island with a bunch of monkeys on it. They dropped a bunch of coconuts on this island. They dropped it into the sand. The monkeys would take and open up the coconuts, but they would take eventually the coconuts would have all the sand in it and all this crap, and the monkeys would take the coconuts to the water and they would clean the coconuts, I believe is what they're doing. And they clean the coconuts in the water, and once the monkeys saw one monkey, there's several hundred monkeys on this island. Once the monkeys on that island saw the first monkey go clean it off, it took like 2 weeks, and all the monkeys had a new plan. As they dropped coconuts in the sand that would get them dirty, the monkeys would all then start going to the water, washing off the coconuts, then open them and eat them. And that happened. They went to an island that was like 30 miles away, that was completely separated from this island of monkeys. And when they dropped off the coconuts in that island, all those monkeys immediately washed the coconuts. They didn't have to be taught. They already all knew. And they said, this is basically kind of that string theory stuff, but they were saying that, there's a collective consciousness and that we don't even understand that's going on that changes habits. And we see that in news cycles and information cycles. And if we all collectively finally make that switch, that we're going to start doing things that matter, which we kind of saw this month here with the switch that happened, and we all finally get pushed to that point. And I just know that this is real because there's so many things that happen like that in groups. Like, it's the strangest thing. I sell fireworks, and it's so nuts. It'll go and it with no rhyme or reason either. It's hard to find the pattern to it, but it can be a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday, any day of the week, and I'm selling fireworks. We'll have no customers at all. And within 4 minutes, we'll have 30 customers that all come at the same time. We sat there for 9 hours when nobody came in. And then all of a sudden, for whatever happens in the air, everybody decides we're buying fireworks right now. And it's like, why does that happen that way? But it does. They come in waves, and there's no, sometimes there's a pattern that makes a sense. Like, obviously on the day of the 4th of July, it's just busy all day. And obviously sometimes after work, you start seeing people pick up because they're stopping by after work on their way home, whatever, those type of things. But I'm just telling you, in the middle of the day, and even on the weekends at just odd times, there will just be this rush for no apparent reason other than there's something when a few people decide that they're going to buy fireworks and it's time to shop, something in their vicinity causes a bunch of other people. Maybe it's interest. Maybe they see people at the stand and it causes some sort of stir. But that stuff really does seem to work that way. And I see that all the time happens in contacting too. I see those patterns that keep happening. And I think when people finally aren't distracted enough and people get on the same page, and that's why I think they work on division so much, is to try to break up the unity and the collective consciousness of people. I think once we all get there, we're going to see a shift. And I think it's something that is a law of the universe, like gravity or the Pareto effect or any of those things. I think that it's out there and it works. And I think we just have to all make that shift right now. They've just got us all believing that these monopolies can't be beat. I think we've seen with Budweiser and a few of these things that they surely can be beat. And we all just have to ride this momentum and switch over, I think. So that was a little bit of a soapbox, but I think it was fairly harmless. Yes,
Charlie.
I've given a shot all day, every day, Charlie. They couldn't shut me up. For sure. I will shout it to the rooftops there. I hope so.
So back to 5.5 months in, have lipedema, weight not changing yet, but feel good. Decided to cut cheese and cream, and then the meat aversion hits. Should I just bring back dairy while I ride it out?
What do you think?
Can you hear me? Help them if it'll help. You gotta try it. No.
Yeah. You just want to stay consistent on carnivore. So if that means bringing back dairy, use that as a bridge until that aversion has gone.
Yeah.
And then, then
try a little fast.
For sure. I definitely, if I use dairy for when my metabolism crashes, because I'm out of options when my metabolism crashes, but I use fasting when I just lose my hunger, for whether it be palate fatigue or meat aversion. I use fasting to get my hunger back when I just can't eat meat for whatever reason. But if I have a slow metabolism at the time, because like I just did that, I fasted. I did 12 rolling 7-day fasts. So I basically, in roughly 24 weeks, I did 12 weeks of that fasting. And I kind of finally tanked my metabolism. So at that time I had to eat dairy because you can't fast. And when your metabolism tanks, I lost my appetite. I couldn't eat. And so I had to use dairy to get it back. And so I had to deal with the lymphedema and the fluid and the inflammation because I needed to fix my metabolism and I needed to be able to eat. So I just did that, and you're seeing a little bit of that in the pudgy cheeks right now because that's from eating the dairy and drinking the water and eating the meat. But that's fine because I actually feel fantastic and my metabolism's through the roof again. And so is my appetite. I'm breaking personal records with how much meat I'm eating right now. But if I was primed and my metabolism was high and I wasn't hungry, I would take that as a sign to fast for sure. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. Oh, and look, it's not us saying it. I don't know. The people are speaking. I'm just going to throw that out there real quick, and then we'll move on.
I didn't really believe it was a thing, but I have to say it's absolutely true. I look just like I came back from a long summer vacation, and it's only been in the low 20s here. Oh, I'm so jealous. Hopefully I'll get to the point where I can tan and not burn. So
for sure.
Got a full summer ahead of us yet, haven't we?
Yep. You guys are lucky. We're going into the tundra season. Yeah, that was coming from the top down though. And so I'm going to skip on that and then go, but that was coming from the top down and it was in their policy. Okay. So, and that was after what happened in Asheville, North Carolina. So they are absolutely doing that. FEMA is taking our tax dollars and they are absolutely doing that to over half of the country. The people that are in their policy, the people that take billions of our tax dollars to save human lives during tragedy are now ideologically aligned with the minority of the country, and they're picking and choosing who they're going to save. Right? That's criminal. That means that a bunch of the people that died in Asheville, North Carolina was at the hands, and I want to cuss right now so bad, was at the hands of those people. That's not just all that I can see is that a worker got fired. That was from the top down. They did that on purpose, and they have blood on their hands for what they did. And they did it because they're trying to kill off and make suffer and make people intimidated for over half of our country. Yeah, they should burn in hell for that, what they did. For sure. So it's not just a little thing either. That is terrible. But on a better note, definitely notice a difference in sun exposure since going carnivore. Right. Yeah, I used to hate the sun because it was it wasn't a pleasant experience all the time. I felt like I'd get overheated, I get sunburned. I even sweating back then. I sweated different. Like it was an uncomfortable, weird thing, and now it feels good to push off this fluid. Even sweating is different now. It's so strange.
I definitely not as hot and bothered as I am usually. I couldn't be out in the sun at all, but now I actually enjoy sitting out there. I just still burn.
For sure. For sure. All right. So I'm trying to. Michael's
caught up on comments, so.
No, we got a few more. Michael's trying to skip over the ones that are going to get me in trouble. He's doing me a favor.
Take his button privileges off, Michael. He's going to get us all banned.
That just makes me so mad that they're doing that. Salt saunas have real data or research. The other saunas have research and conclusive. Have no real data. I gotcha. Okay, so salt saunas are just all right, Matt. And I think Matt, remind me, but I think your team wet sauna, right? I think Matt's on team wet sauna.
At least you end up like us or England, indeed, Todd.
We have the old 2A that's going to keep that from happening. At least while we're alive, right? Like we would have to not be here for that to happen. So, and let us remember that last time we did this, it was over a 2% tax. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's due time, and certain people's opinions around here for sure. Salt saunas have no data. Okay, perfect. Have any of you had aches and pains? I call them old person aches that went away after starting carnivore, only to have them start up again. Every joint hurts now.
That's what I'm dealing with.
Huh.
Yeah, I have when I haven't eaten something when I've gone off plan. The aches and pains definitely come back, and I walk around like a 90-year-old woman, and it takes a couple of days to get it out of my system. So definitely, if I've had something that's not optimal, got to keep it clean for me. But when I'm on carnivore, I'm doing well. I don't seem to have the aches and pains as much. Oh, okay. When I exercise, start ramping things up, I discover new muscles. So, yeah. What are you doing differently? Are you having anything that's not carnivore? Are you doing extra exercise, extra movement?
Yeah, the only time I got any of those pains back were when I had a what did they call it? Flying Dutchman or something at In-N-Out Burger in Texas, and it was basically just burger patties with slices of cheese on them wrapped in lettuce. And I felt definitely like an old man again as soon as I had that. My knee swelled up for like 3 days, and I was limpy for sure.
But lettuce is healthy, isn't it? It's just water. So they say.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah. It's those little things. Could be some spice or something that's been thrown into your ground beef or sausages that it might not.
Yeah, it can flare up. Yeah, I mean, this is why I just don't stray far from BBB&E, on any occasion, because man, if you start going too off the reservation, things just sneak up on you and you're not sure why, and man, I know if I open that back up my palate to other flavors and things, I'll like them. But right now I don't miss them. It's been almost 24 months. And so I enjoying clean food that I don't have to worry about, So that's why I kind of stay away from any recipes that are too crazy, and I also totally get it because, I get how Kiltz is like, no, dude, frozen cream is amazing. And then everybody's else like, what? This tastes like butt, like super bland. Well, something really does happen when your taste buds are cleaned for a long time. Your taste buds change. Your taste buds are not static. It's not like we're born with this set programmed taste bud that, if we did, our taste buds wouldn't know anything. Our taste buds are learned, and as we have them, they get signaling from them, especially with your mouth microbiome, your gut microbiome, and then your taste buds. It's a correlation and a signaling that happens. And if it has something that your body likes, it basically tells your taste buds, hey, we like that flavor. That thing's good. And unfortunately for us, they figured out how to terribly manipulate that for dopamine fixes and make it extremely addictive. But also, if you get away from the dopamine fixes and the addictions and all the stimulants, it'll also reprogram your taste buds for things that are highly nutrient dense that your body likes that doesn't cause inflammation. And so all of a sudden, now things that didn't taste sweet taste pretty sweet to you. Like it's weird how sour cream out of all things tastes like frosting to me now. I mean, it's crazy. So it's pretty strange.
I got you on Rumble. I had to use the app. Awesome. I'll let you know the app for it.
Thank you so much. And we're gonna get to going over there so we can have a real talks soon.
I never had a problem with eating any meat. Now I'm thinking of going lion, which I'm not crazy about since I'm not a big beef eater. Do you like lamb? I'm really enjoying lamb at the moment. We're having heaps of lamb, and I found when I went lion, I needed the fat, so that's where the tallow sort of came in, because you can't have butter on lion. But I'd only lasted not even a week because I needed the fat, extra fat. So just be mindful of that as well.
Right. I see what you did there, Michael, but I'm going to pop it up anyhow real quick and fast.
Do what you want.
Then I'm going to pop it down. The answer is yes. They came from the top down, and that's why they responded in Asheville, North Carolina, like they did. This was not the guy that they talked about in the news. He's just a fall guy. This was top down, full polish. It is the entire system there for sure. It's been weaponized.
I got a picture of Lindy's.
Ooh, that looks so good.
Yeah, I think Scott could have put it on a little bit longer. He took it out a bit early. But what we do is we chop it into really thin pieces and then stick it in the air fryer, and that crisps it up so it's delicious.
Looks good.
Yeah. I'll be back. I've got to go and rescue a bird. I don't know what he's up to. Sorry.
Okay. Katie on Instagram says getting in and out or Macca's Angus patties. Thoughts? I hear there's a lot of carnivores that do the McDonald's patties. I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, I really am a fan of that. Saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good, right? So do the best you can. Ultimately, the perfect thing for you is going to be the cleanest thing that you can make sustainably, consistently happen, right? So if you, I think for me personally, I've had the McDonald's burger pads in emergencies and things, but I try to make sure that I have food, the food that I want, the cleaner meats and stuff available. But I have had them because I needed food, and they're not a bad option for sure.
On a
Yeah.
pinch, you can't beat it.
Yeah, exactly. Katie, yeah, she said it's my emergency order if I forget lunch at work. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, wrong,
I absolutely do that every time, and like, look, we're not perfect, so that is an absolute best option, that I think you can make for sure. And I mean, Bella eats the In and Out patties all the time, and she loves them. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it at all. It's way better than saying, "What's the use? I should just go get a large pizza and eat the whole thing," which is what I used to do. So for sure. All right. No worries, Katie. Appreciate you. Dr. Boz did a video a few weeks back about far versus near infrared saunas. Sometimes hard to figure out what will be what will benefit us, not just being sold the product. Right, for sure. And that's why I'm going to have to do some research, I think.
And you got to remember that it's going to affect everybody differently too.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like changing your cut of meat or something. This is a sauna, so it's a big purchase item.
What are they worth? Just I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, this is why. So you can get them. Yeah, you can get as cheap as here. You can get them as cheap as like $4,000 or $5,000, but then you also have to hook them up, and this is what I'm looking at. Like, do I want the one that you have to have water, because then you got to either plumb them or you have a bucket of water out there. If you get the dry ones, it's just electricity. What is this salt stuff that I'm seeing about? I like the idea of having the infrared ones because you're going to get the red light therapy and you're going to get the sauna therapy at the same time. But I also heard that they don't get hot enough to really stress you as much as you need to mobilize stem cells and to get the growth hormone production. So these are the things that are going through my mind. So I'm like, and so then I'm like, well, can I get a wet sauna with the infrared lights and the salt? And what is the salt? And then I'll just bucket water out there. And so I might do that. But anyhow, if you just get like an infrared one that just plugs into, so the cheapest way to go about it would be get an infrared one that just plugs into a wall socket, which is about 1,750 watts. That'll run off a 20 amp single pole 110 breaker if you're in the United States. Then that's like the cheapest way to go about it. Then they're like $4,500 or something, plus probably a delivery fee or something. And they pretty much just set up. But also, that's kind of an in-house sauna. And I don't want to put it in the house. I want to put it in the garage, and my garage is not heated. And I'm not so sure that 1,750 watts, and when it gets 30 below outside, is going to be able to keep up. So I feel like I need a bigger sauna that's more of an outdoor sauna, and those seem to get to be around $6,000 to $7,000. And then they take a bigger electrical service. Now, luckily for me, that's my forte, so I won't have a hard time hooking that up.
You can do the electrician bit, yeah.
So that'll be easy. But for other people, that's going to add, $800 to $1,500 worth of cost to it, and then you have to times that by 1.5 for Aussie equivalent on that. And so, anyhow, I don't know, but I do like the idea of sweating for the next 6 months when it's really cold outside. So I have to figure out what the ambient temperature conversion is if you're starting at like -30 or even 20 degrees outside. I don't feel like 1,700, because the face of them are just glass. So you're gonna lose a ton of thermals through the glass if it's kind of exposed to outdoor temperature. So, but also maybe I should heat the garage. Maybe I should take the extra money, insulate and heat the garage with that money, and then then I could use the cheaper. So I have a lot of thinking to do. That's what I'm saying. But I've started the process, which I need a head start because I have this brain that only goes so fast. That's a lot of moving parts. So I need the extra time. But I am working on it for sure. Thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you, Beth.
We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, man. I feel like we just gave a pep rally, and people are responding. Thank you so much, Charlie and Marilyn. Let's see. There's a very old adjective that when an idea time has come, or when
it will come to. When an idea's time has come, it will come to fruition.
Oh.
For instance, the airplane was born in the US and France at the same time, unbeknownst to one another.
Yeah, that is an absolute beautiful point, Charlie. That's exactly what I was saying. And I feel like there's that appointed time right now for us to take back what's been being manipulated and stolen from us, right? And it feels like that time is right now. I think you can feel it in the air. I think everybody I talk to understands it. That the time is now. And so I don't think this is going to take as long as we think. And I think that there's going to be a real reckoning. And I don't know, let's just pick a crazy time and say this next 4 years.
The shift is long overdue, but it's coming.
Amen to that. It is. They screwed up when they came after our meat. they screwed up real bad. I've been eating a ridiculously low amount for years, finally feeling an appetite, which is nice. So I thought it was safe to cut out the dairy. For sure. I mean, Beck, what is that amount? What are you eating? I don't think I'm primed enough yet. Don't feel ready to skip meals. Yeah, so definitely don't. Definitely just eat the dairy. And it's okay. You know, it's like you got to make priorities. Right now, I have fluid on me and I'm puffed up and I'm fine with it because I'm healing. And so one thing at a time, you know, it's okay because this is a process, you know. I'm loving the conversation in the chat right now. I can't put it all up. Dairy has a natural sugar, part of why it drives appetite up. Do you know how you want to work with it? Yeah, to know how you want to work with it. Yeah, exactly. And also, I hear it's the casing in the dairy also makes your appetite go crazy too. I'm going to have to do more research on that because I'm pretty curious what casing actually does in the body. Oh, Matt says no. I have infrared sauna, but after 35 minutes, it feels wet. Laughing out. Okay, well, that gives me hope. Matt, is yours in a temperature controlled climate, or does it happen to be outside where thermals are, or the ambient temperature is a little bit rough?
I just feel like going and sitting in a sauna right now, just to warm up.
Right. Todd, get an infrared sauna. Make sure it has both red light and near infrared. Yep. Light, both kinds of red light have an incredible number of benefits. I got a red and near belt, and it's helping. Okay, perfect. And I have researched those frequencies. And you're right. There's two main frequency spectrums that work really well. There's some people that say that there's actually 5. There's another people that say there's 7 spectrums. Some of it starts to get a little bit whatever, but I'm definitely going to look into that. So I appreciate that, Barking Squirrel. Salt saunas are just pretty walls of salt block where pretty women okay. All right, well, then I'm already excluded from that.
That's your mind made up there then. You can take that one off the shopping list.
For sure. Exactly. Did I just hear that lion is not conducive to weight loss? Did I just hear that lion? No.
Yeah.
Did I just hear that?
That lion is not conducive to weight loss.
Conducive. Okay. No, I can't imagine that being true at all. Why would that?
I've heard quite a number of people say that lion broke a stall. So, but then again, if you're having a lot of beef, you could have that gluconeogenesis. So it's just another tool that you can use if you are stalled. I think throughout our journeys, our diets do change. Like you may do a bit of lion, you may go to carnivore, then you've got to do some fasting. I just don't think you can stick to one mode at a time. Like be OMAD, then 2MAD, 3MAD. Like just
I think
change
mixing
it
it up is your best bet. It keeps your body guessing. It doesn't get used to one way of doing it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Jordan Peterson lost like what he lost like 60 or 70 pounds. Michaela Peterson lost weight on it. I've never heard of anybody on lion not losing weight. I think that lion is really hard. I think it's the hardest one to do. And so
you're probably more likely to get that meat aversion as well because it's not much of a choice.
Yeah, meat aversion and undereat. If you're undereating, I think the enemy to weight loss is undereating, because the weight loss that you want, the weight loss that sticks and matters, and the weight loss that's sustainable is really hindered by undereating too.
Yeah.
So
that's probably more the problem then, because you're more satiated online, so you don't eat as much, and then your metabolism stalls.
But I got to tell you, when you prime, like exactly what Michael and Lindy were saying about changing it up, because if you prime correctly, your appetite will open up when it's ready. And like I'm eating lion right now. I've eaten lion, and I'm not doing it on purpose either, by the way, but I've been eating lion now probably 10 days, but not purposefully. I haven't had eggs in 10 days. And it hasn't been because I chose to. It's because I got ravenous for meat when my metabolism started climbing. And Tuesday, I ate 9 pounds of picanha in like 12 hours or something. It was impressive. I was like, what is happening right now? I cannot believe that was happening. It was crazy. But I ate 3 meals that day. Like my body wanted them. I had 3 meals that day, and each one of them had 3 pounds of picanha on each one of them. And I was like, how did that just happen? Which I wasn't too tickled about, because that's an expensive habit to get into for sure. Like I'm going to have to work a third job here if I want to eat like this. But man, did I feel good. I felt fantastic. And the next day I ate about 9 pounds again, maybe only 8 pounds the second day. And then the kidney stone threw a little bit of a monkey wrench in the works when that happened. But yesterday I ended up eating about 4 pounds of meat, and today I've eaten about 5.5 or 6 pounds of meat, but I haven't had any eggs or bacon or anything. Just it's been New York strip steak, ribeye steak, and picanha, and that's all I've eaten in the last 10 days, and I can't seem to eat enough of it. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I don't know, and it's definitely making my metabolism higher. Thought I better drag my ass over here before I get into trouble. Exactly. Thank you. Now talk all the smack you want over there. That's awesome. We will join you soon enough.
We should do like a half-hour or hour live stream just on Rumble, just for Todd's rants, the soapbox or something like that. Just
we'll call it Todd's therapy hour. I'm not really a therapy guy, but we'll get some stuff off our
chest. You'll feel better afterwards, yeah.
For sure. It'll be like one of those padded rooms where you can break stuff and call people names and nobody can hear you.
Definitely have my tissue box handy, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of laughs in it.
For sure. I did the fast 800. I'm not sure what that is. And it didn't work, so I dropped more Oh, must be 800 calories or something. Wasn't difficult. I was pretty broken, now building up to close to 1,600 calories. Beck, you are way under eating, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. You are way under eating. You should join the steak and butter gang. We need to talk for sure. If you have an option, join the steak and butter gang, please, and come into the open chats. And you can meet a bunch of these awesome people like Charlie and Marilyn that are in the chat, and Tim that's in the chat. And they, me and Lindy and Michael were in the chat a bunch. And we should talk about that because you are way under eating. So, what do you guys think?
And it's hard to eat that much food, but there's little tips and tricks that you can do to get the nourishment in there. So definitely, I tend to undereat all the time because of my lactose restriction, and then meat is really satiating, and then my metabolism tanks, and then everything stalls, and I can't do anything, and I'm currently in a stall, which is a real pain, and so I'm having to make a conscious effort to prime, which is difficult to do with lactose, but I can do it. I've got my meat in a plate here, and I just graze all day. I'm not hungry, but I just need my body needs the food. It needs the nourishment. And once it feels safe, it'll let it go. So
for sure.
Yeah, you need to get that food into you.
100%. Let me look. I'm just curious. I don't even know. Let me see how many calories 9 pounds of pecan is.
Quite a bit.
I think so. So it's the Costco. Hold on. Where did that go? Dang it. Why is there we go. All right. So let me enter this food item. So Costco, it's called sirloin cap. Okay.
I wouldn't have a clue how much I eat because I don't measure or do anything. Too scared to.
All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and put this over to pounds. And then let's go put 9 on there. Woo, doggy. That ain't as bad as I thought. All right. I wasn't off the reservation with that. It was 5,500 calories, 221 grams of fat, and 874 grams of protein. Good night. That is why
it's really not that bad for 9 pounds of meat.
No, and that's why I felt like lifting heavy things. It's because that was a whole bunch of protein. Woo! That was a day's work. But I did feel fantastic, and I love that feeling every time I do that. Your muscles just feel like they just, the closest thing I can explain it to is when you get up in the morning and you stretch for the first time, your muscles feel awesome when you're stretching. It's like that, but it builds up and it starts to come on, and you're just like, I want to go lift something really heavy. It's crazy. It feels so good when I do that.
It's 10. Figure it's 10 Big Macs.
Yeah.
So what would you rather eat, Todd? 10 Big Macs or 9 pounds of cognac?
Well, 10 Big Macs was a Tuesday where I.
Hey, you're talking to a guy that would stock up on them when there used to be for $1.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, my work crew needs 15 of them.
Yeah, and they're gonna need 15 tomorrow and 15. I know,
hungry boys over there.
I know that we're just a different breed. There's people like that, right? Like George Foreman. If you ever heard his story, how he used to go to multiple fast food places because he was too embarrassed to get all of his food at one place.
I've done it
for sure. Yeah. Then you ever make the pretend phone call on your phone to see what the other people wanted that wasn't there? Yeah, just a minute. I get their order too. Like the.
What you wanted, the small fries or 2 large fries?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow, you're sure eating a lot, Bob. We're such crackheads back then. That's so funny. It's in my house, but I got a combo It works off 110 outlet, but it has an additional heater inside wired to 50 amps. Okay, so yeah, the 110 is just for the lights, but then it has an additional 50 amp heater. It uses goes over 155 degrees. Okay, so that makes sense. So you have a booster heater. That's probably what I'm going to need, which is fine. That's fine, but that makes sense. So the 110 just runs the infrared lights, and then you actually have a inductive coil heater that runs off 50 amps, probably 240. So, okay, sounds good. I appreciate that info, Matt. That's super helpful. Heavenly Heat Sauna combined. Heavenly Heat Sauna combination is the brand. Okay, I'm going to look that up for sure because that sounds really good, and see if they have one that's got a little better insulation for outdoors. Todd Dr. Boz thinks the far infrared better helping. Yeah. Well, I don't know. That makes me want to do the opposite because I don't believe anything those guys say. But my problem is undermoving. That's not your problem. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know your problem. Maybe you have a disability or something that keeps you from moving. That could be it. But if I'm just saying that, like, if it's just the weight and feeling bad and kind of your stamina, in my opinion, I believe that for a long time, that it was because, we're gaining weight in these things because of inactivity, and it's not. We're putting the cart before the horse. If you like, nobody has to tell me to move now. I move because I feel great and I can't sit still because I got a lot of energy and my body doesn't hurt and I have stamina and strength. And so my body wants to move and it wants to lift things. And so as long as you're, if you're fighting like a spinal problem or, if your body's hurt, then that could be the case. And that's, but even then you need to heal and not make weight the biggest factor. But if it's just weight and, chronic fatigue and all that stuff that everybody says exercise your way through it, I don't think so. I think once you heal, you're going to be plenty mobile. You're going to be getting around. Hey, Carnivore Odyssey. Yeah, heal before you can move. Yep. For sure. All right. I'm on a ribeye and prawns and butter kick right now. Those sound good. I do like me some prawns. It's all I'm craving. What's everyone's favorite meal currently? Right now, definitely pecani is my favorite meal. How about you guys?
Mine's going back to my ribeye, not my ribeye, my chuck roast stew that I make. I love that, especially when it's colder days now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely into my lamb at the moment, and I do it all on the smoker, and then I've been doing it either in the air fryer or in the dehydrator. Just cut up little slivers and make almost like a jerky out of the lamb, and that is really good. So I've been munching on that lately.
For sure. Building up and healing, working on things for them. But yeah, anytime. Like, seriously, if you need help in the just because we can get with you in the chew many days out of the week and have calls, and it's just helpful when you see everybody what they're really eating. Because until you get around other people that are really putting it down and see the results, like Tim and I don't know if Tim's still here, but I mean, Tim's walking again and he has a job again, and he had to prime for a long time, but it was the nourishment that healed him. He was gaining weight.
And what he eats is 10 burgers a day.
Yeah, he eats 10 burgers a day. Yep. For sure. I went to Costco for the first time last week. It was a minefield of sad. Yeah, for sure. It is. Ours has a pretty good meat section, though. We're blessed to be in beef country. So that is super good. Yeah, bacon and eggs for sure. That is a classic for sure. Took me 10 months to be able to be mobile again, for sure. There's nothing wrong with that because, at least you're not getting more immobile, right? You're not, like, that's one of the beautiful things that, yeah, it might be slow moving to turn everything around, but at least you've stopped digging the hole, too. So it's it progresses better than you think, right? Because the time's going to go by anyhow. I mean, I cannot believe. I remember a year ago thinking, oh man, it must be so nice to be Lindy and be 2 years carnivore, you know? And I was thinking, man, that's twice as long as I've been carnivore. That's going to be crazy. I can't imagine what it's going to be like to be 2 years carnivore. And I clearly remember thinking that a year ago. And now I'm 2 years carnivore and Lindy's 3 years carnivore, you know? So it's, first of all, it's clearly sustainable, even with all, I mean, you've gone through a bunch of struggles this year and, you know, you're just totally different person. You're driving, you're doing all these things, but you're still carnivore. You're still here. So it's definitely sustainable, you know? It's none of the things they said. You haven't had a heart attack yet or scurvy. You still have your hair. Yeah. Hey, easy. Some people.
And I think Marlon's one of those that probably wouldn't be here today if she didn't find carnival. We were all in such a dark place. We were depressed. We had no life. And I seriously don't think any of us would have been here at this time talking to each other.
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah, and Tim still has a leptin issue, but I'm certain it's going to heal. It just takes time, you know. And Tim's a little bit older than I am, but it's just going to take time. I mean, we're all at different stages of broken, you know. But the thing is Tim. I mean, when he shows pictures of his face and his skin and his legs and how the lymphedema, I mean, Tim's legs look better than mine do, you know. It's incredible. So
he's so excited about his changes too, isn't he? It's just so nice to see. He's just got that excitement and joy back in his face.
He's living life again.
Yeah. It's so wonderful to watch.
For sure. It's awesome. And so it's just so nice when you're in a community where you can see it all, you know. I mean, Tim going back to work is not you know, a hypothetical situation. You know, it's not just on paper. It's not a hypothesis. Tim went back to work. Tim can walk again. You know, Tim will tell you himself that the greatest thing is his wife said she's got her husband back again. You know, like, so these are very real things. And it did not come with dieting. It did not come with
he never would have came to where he is today if he would have listened to the doctors telling him, take these pills, do this, eat this diet. It wouldn't have worked.
For sure. It wouldn't have worked.
Never worked for me. Did it work for you, Todd, what the doctors were telling you, Lindy?
No, and my dad and brother are dead because they listened to it all the way to the grave. And you know what they never did? They never got healthier and they never got off a single medication. They got on more medications. They had more doctor's appointments. They got more side effects and more conditions. They lost more quality of life and became more immobile. And then they died. So it's like, what are we really risking here? You know, like, are we sure that they're saving us? I mean, look, I know that there's some real things that they can do, and Dr. Phil will be the first one to tell you which ones are real. But there's a lot of nonsense out there. There's a whole lot of fear mongering for money out there. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Bugger spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay. That is going to be a problem for you. So
is this Sandra in Rumble?
I think so. I wasn't sure. I thought
trying to trick us.
Yeah, she is. You're playing games with us.
She is.
Yeah.
I know what you'll be doing. You'll be out at the opera, and hopefully in Melbourne we can go to the opera together. I've never been to one, so no stopping Miss you. Go for it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've even been to an opera.
You have or you haven't?
I have.
You have? Oh, okay.
He was standing there looking in the mirror with his kidney stones. He was singing.
That's a fact. What would you say that? How do you say that?
Sopranos, high soprano.
Oh, for sure. No, that would have definitely been that. But no, I conducted a whole
Orchestra.
Orchestra symphony.
Symphony, something like that. Yeah, for sure. It was not pleasant.
That's why his mom wanted him to go to the hospital.
Yeah, she did. She's like, get out of here. I'm tired of watching you cry. For sure. You gotta put
the work in. My mum used to say you can't half-ass some things in life. Yep.
For sure. And you don't want to, right?
No.
Like at the time you think you do, but in the end. No, I won't ever go off YouTube altogether because I will use them to siphon all new viewers and their traffic to bring them over to the dark side. So I won't. But we need to make other platforms formidable so that because ultimately what's going to happen is if we move enough people to other platforms, YouTube is going to lose a lot of business. And when dollars talk, and then YouTube is going to at least pretend to not be shadow banning people and all this stuff and playing these games because it's going to. Well, when we get on Rumble, I'm going to tell you what I really think about it all. Let's just say that when we have our first live on Rumble. I look at the three of you. Look what you've accomplished in 2+ years. I can't wait to see what the next year will bring. Absolutely. And it's so real. And it's like, just remember that the next year is going to go by whether you're carnivore or not. And your situation is either going to get worse or it's going to get better. And you really have no place but up to go, from here if you're doing the right thing. But, it can, you're not really risking much, right? It depends on what your situation is. But for me, it wasn't a risk, right? I was already dying. So it's like if it didn't work, fine. But Dr. Phil always says it's a risk reward decision you have to make. And I would just ask you, have you ever seen anybody in your life that got into the drug care system and the sick care system that got better, that like really got better, like they really brought their health back instead of just managed symptoms? I've never seen it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's my favorite picture because that's just the thing. And the thing to understand is that this guy on both sides, they both still have the same cravings and the same propaganda to fight. It's just the guy on the left, after going through it all, built up a thick skin and he built up, he ate well and he has the strength and he has the knowledge and he's walked the walk. And so now the same amount of resistance is just no struggle at all anymore, and that's why you don't want a magic pill, because you need to build up that strength. You need to know what it feels like, and you need to know that you can actually heal and that you can come out of it, that you can break addictions, that you can turn from those patterns, and that you don't have to hide from it. You can face it pretty head on and be like, I'm stronger now. I have the nutrients. I know the truth. You can't steal it from me. And so that gives you, and that's why when you see it, then you know that you're under attack, right? And you're just like, I'm not going to spend my money to get sick. I'm not going to give the people that are making my family sick, my friends sick, making me sick. I'm not going to give them my money so that they can keep lobbying to keep red dyes and seed oils and machine oils and all this addictive crap that most other countries won't even let in their food. I'm not going to keep giving them my money so that they can manipulate the system to put that in there so that they can keep making us sick, so that we can keep taking our money on the flip side to deal with symptoms. And I said that as gently as I can say it, but we all know that it's true now. And if it wasn't, 74% of the Earth's population wouldn't be sick. It's exactly what's happening, And
I know for the three of us, carnivore saved us. None of us would be sitting here today, probably. I know I wouldn't be.
For sure. Charlie asks, how do you prepare a chuck roast in the slow cooker for your mom? So I get those 7-pound, they come in 2 pieces, the 7-pound chucks at Costco. And I have that Ninja all-in-one. It's like a 7-in-1 Ninja. It's the one Bill Knott has. If you ever watch his videos, he uses it all the time, the square one. And I like that one because it slow cooks, but it also sears. So it has a sear setting. So I sear all the sides of the chuck roast on the sear setting, and that makes a pretty fantastic Maillard buildup on the bottom of the pan in there. And so then I take that 7 pounds of chuck and I put it in there and I put it on slow cook. And it usually takes about 9 hours on slow cook on low. And I put in 64 ounces of kettle and fire bone broth in there. And then the next day I come out and I pull the meat out, and it's like fall apart. It's really hard to kind of get it out of there in one piece, but I pull it out. And then I turn that thing back on to sear, and it boils the fat in the bone broth in the bottom. And then I add a tiny bit of vinegar and xanthan gum to it. And a lot of times I'll put a cup of, I forgot to say it, but I'll put a cup of apple cider vinegar in it in with the bone broth too. But then I put a little bit more apple cider vinegar in there to taste. I bring it to a boil. I put a little bit of xanthan gum in there, and then it makes this crazy thick gravy. And then I slice up all the chuck roast, and I put it back in the gravy, and I just let it sit there and simmer for about 30 minutes, and it soaks up all this gravy into that slice. It's like sliced roast beef at that point. You could pull it apart and just make pulled pot roast out of it if you wanted to, but I actually like to slice it kind of quarter inch, kind of like brisket, like a quarter inch thick, and it soaks up all this gravy. And you take it out of there, and it's pretty good. It's real tender, real juicy, tons of rich gravy. To be honest, even if carnivore will shorten my lifespan, I would choose the amazing way I feel now over a long, miserable life. 100%.
I agree.
Yeah, quality over quantity. What did I see? I don't know because I don't know opera. So here's how I got there.
Sing a little bit of it. We'll figure it out.
No, you won't. You'll hurt. I will get my second hard strike. I don't know. So it was because my ex-wife played classical violin, and there's a place called like the Emerson here or something, and we had to go. She was in the orchestra thing there, and so we went to the orchestra. They played a symphony, and then they followed up with a opera. And she was with the theater people there or something. So I don't know. I got drugged to both of them. I liked the symphony, and the opera was cool, but it's kind of weird. I didn't understand any of the words at all. But awesome pipes on those people for sure. But yeah, nice group of people though. I got in trouble because I took a picture and somebody slapped me. Some lady slapped me from behind for taking a picture. She said, and that was during the
intermission.
Well, it was during. I was actually. I think there was a ballet in between that too, or I don't know. Maybe it's the same thing. There's people in tutus dancing around, and so I don't know what part that was. That might have been the opera, or there might have been a ballet or something. But my wife told me to take a picture, so I took a picture. And as I snapped it, somebody slapped me in the back and said, "That distracts the performers." And I'm like, I don't even want to be here. And she made me take the picture. So I got in trouble. My wife was laughing. I'm like, you're supposed to know the etiquette around here. So I don't know. I got in trouble. It was fun for sure. I have a funny story about gallstones and my mother, actually. Well, when you come on next, you'll have to tell it because we like funny stories here. Hey, Murdad. My new chuck roast recipe is not even a roast. Semi-frozen, shaved on a mandolin. That sounds good already. And high heat stir-fried. Oh, wow. That sounds really good, actually. Man, I'll have to try that, Murdad. That sounds really good. That'd be fun, I'm sure. I've invented a new language whilst talking to my dog. Well, that's funny. Anybody remember gobbledygook? I think that's like what was what was it like? What was the other word for pig Latin or whatever? The other, yeah, it sounds something like that. Yeah, there was something like that. Gibberish, I think maybe. But yeah, that's funny.
Is that like an opera, The Barber of Seville by Bugs Bunny is my favorite? Is that right?
I'm gonna guess that that's a Looney Tunes opera. That's funny. You almost had me going there. Almost had me going.
I do love theatre shows. Like I went and saw The Phantom of the Opera, and that was the most amazing thing that I had ever seen. So having that storyline and stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
Hi, Christy. How are you?
Howdy, howdy. You got it. It's a doozy of a story. Yeah. It's definitely Looney Tunes now. Yes, correct. For sure.
Okay.
Bugs did a Looney Tunes thing. That's awesome. That's funny. All right. Let's see here. All right. So what do we got? We got 30 minutes. We could open up the chat if people want to come in for the next 30 minutes. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it. Be lovely.
All right. If anybody wants to hop in. And
might get a story about gallstones.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to hop in and chat for the next 30 minutes? There it is. Bam. Hop on in. Say hi. Let's see. I'm going to check a few.
Make sure Dr. Kilton's satellite you in Instagram.
Right. He's probably over here dumping some gold in the chat, and I'm big dogging him. All right. But yeah, whoa. Lindy,
Incoming.
Lindy just got the tower buzz. Kamikaze birds. That's awesome. You guys let us know if you have any suggestions on people or products or things within reason. Don't be crazy that we should try to give away, carnivore ideas that we should try to give away for a Christmas special.
Question there for you, Todd.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I saw it. And I was already clicking. Even though I saw it. You mentioned that you take 20 drops of Lugol's iodine. How did you decide that amount? Because of Dr. Brownstein on Dr. Ken Berry's video of Dr. Brownstein. And
I will post a link to that right now.
Thanks so much. And he basically said, so, I mean, just like exactly what we're having happen here with this having to walk on eggshells when we speak type of thing. Dr. Brownstein had to walk on eggshells when he spoke because technically the recommendation of 50 milligrams of iodine a day is not within like the guidelines or whatever, but he believes that those guidelines are purposely screwed up and that people are grossly, under prescribed iodine is what he said. And he basically says that if you have healthy kidneys, that if you have excess iodine, you'll just pee it out. In fact, they have a test to figure out just how much iodine you can absorb, where he will give you 100 or even 150 milligrams of iodine, and then take a pee test and see how much comes out in your pee. And let's say that you took 150 grams of iodine and you peed out, 105 grams, they know that you're absorbing 45 grams of iodine. And so he actually uses that to diagnose your, how nutrient deficient you are or whatever, and how deficient you are in iodine. And so when he said that, I was already getting pretty amazing results, or feeling not amazing, but I was feeling a difference. I'm the type of person that usually takes supplements and I don't feel crap. I'm like, this is an expensive pee then, if they're right, and then but amino acids and iodine and vitamin D and K2 are amongst the things that every time I felt a noticeable difference, and so anyhow, I worked up. I went from like 6 grams to 12 grams to 25 grams milligrams. Sorry, milligrams. Somebody's gonna OD on iodine now. They're gonna be chugging bottles. I went from like 6
Todd said
milligrams.
so.
Yeah, I went from like 6 milligrams to 12 milligrams to 25 milligrams to 50 milligrams, and that's where I stay today. And it has been quite amazing. Wow, there's and over here on Instagram we got Sigs. He says, "Hi, my name is Jackie from Australia." Yep, Adelaide. I have joined your Q&A now, so not sure if I have answered anything or high blood pressure. I'm on the 10th. I'm on my 10th day. It must be 10th day of carnivore. And my blood pressure tablets advised to move it down. Okay, so that's a medical question, and we don't answer medical questions here because we're not medical doctors. However, what I would do is I would either join us on Friday nights. And you can watch our YouTube channel. We do a Friday night live Q&A with Bella the Steak and Butter Gal, and the reason why that's important is because she has medical doctors on there that you can ask questions. So get your question in early, and they will be happy to answer it for you. Or if you want to, you can also join us in the Steak and Butter Gang, and they have Dr. Phil will occasionally, he's a retired doctor, but he will also occasionally answer those types of questions in the Steak and Butter Gang if you want to join up. But we cannot give you blood pressure medication advice here, but I appreciate you stopping in so much. All right. Hi, Marilyn.
Hello.
Another Aussie.
Oh, goodness me. You look as if you've caught some sun there, Todd. You're looking...
Well,
have you been out and about, love?
I haven't been out and about that much. I think I'm flushed from giving childbirth through my kidneys. And so I think that's what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm a little flush. I did a little crying. I did a little praying. I did a little screaming. And I'm back now. But I think it's got me a little rougey.
Whoa, that's just not fun.
No, I did not realize.
Is not fun.
I did not realize that that was so miserable. But Lindy, and you have some information on this because Lindy was wondering how a gallstone compares to a kidney stone.
Well, I've had my gallbladder out, and this was like, oh golly, was well before we came up here to Queensland. So we're probably looking at about 7 years ago. And I watched my mother go through this. She had the attacks are just, trying to explain it is like when you're going through childbirth, you have these peaks and troughs with the contractions. For me, the gallstone attacks were just all peak. And it feels like a red hot poker going in your left side, and it goes right through to your back. Horrible.
Sounds very familiar.
Oh my gosh, it is the worst pain. It is worse. Invariably, they say, although, the gallstones my mother had were set off by, brace yourself, apparently it was set off by fatty foods.
That's what they say.
I'm just saying. But for whatever reason, and then later on down the track, she started getting attacks again. And then they found out that the area we lived in England, the water was a little bit high in the chalk, and it was actually making the gallstones bigger. So they say. So that was the days when the only mineral water you could get was either the still mineral water called Evian or the fizzy mineral water called Perrier. That was it. That's all you could get. And so basically anything that had to be boiled with vegetables or anything like that had to be boiled in mineral water. But yeah, apparently it was dairy and fatty foods that was setting off my mother's gallstone attacks.
Wow.
I don't think so. But anyway.
Well,
But
here's what Ken Berry says about it. He says what happens is that when you're not eating fatty foods, your gallbladder has this bile in it that becomes calciumified because it's not excreting it. So you end up with a giant gallstone, right? But it doesn't move around. And then when you start eating fatty foods again, it stimulates your gallbladder to start putting out bile again. That bile begins to break down a large gallstone. And when that large gallstone gets broken up into pieces, it mobilizes and then it'll start spitting it out. So basically what it says is, hey, we got a guest, Heidi.
Oh, hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Hey, Heidi. Thank you for joining us. You are muted. If you can unmute.
It's on your end, though. I believe I can't unmute you. You might have to go back out, and then when you come in to verify, you have to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see leave. There she goes.
Yep, and then she can come. How is she not? How's she still in?
I think it's maybe a little lag.
Okay.
Her picture's gone.
I'm going to answer Sandra's question real quick here. How did I feel different? So originally energy and just feeling more awake and better brain function. But then when I got to 50 milligrams, I started seeing in color. Actually, I think it happened at 25 milligrams. I felt like I could see in color again, like colors were bright again. I
find that interesting. I find that interesting.
Dr. Phil did a deep dive for me because Dr. Phil is the man, and he put together a paper on it, which is incredible. And what he found, there we go. Oh, sorry, we're both doing it. You sorry, Heidi. Me and Michael are playing back and forth.
I'm not touching any buttons. It wasn't me.
There we go. I'm going to finish this train of thought real quick, and then we'll talk with Heidi. So. But Dr. Phil put together a study for me, and he studied what it was because it was bugging him, because he said iodine shouldn't have anything to do with the cones and whatever in your eyes that see color. But what he found out is your thyroid does. So if you have underacting thyroid, your underacting thyroid will stop producing a chemical that the cones in your eyes need to produce color vision. And so basically that was proof positive that the iodine is greatly helping my hey, I appreciate it, Liz, is greatly helping my thyroid, and my thyroid started functioning properly. So it started making the chemicals that started making me see in color. And it happened very, very rapidly from taking the 50. Actually, I think that actually happened when I got to 25 milligrams that happened. So, but
I find that really interesting because I always thought that there are a percentage of men who are more susceptible to color blindness from birth. So I'm wondering how much of it is actually related to exactly what you've just said, because I know at least one other person who is colorblind.
Wow. Well,
and yeah,
tell them to try iodine, see if it helps. Because I mean, for me, because I'd had an experience taking TRT before. The first time I took a TRT shot, I don't do that anymore because then I found out you can get dependent on it, and your body will stop making its own testosterone. But when I first tried it, I had the same thing where I could see in color, like vividly. Like I was like, oh man, the world was black and white before. Same thing. So it surely could be because that, your thyroid and your adrenal glands and just your hormone balance will affect testosterone, and it affects your thyroid. So it's very interesting. But hey, Heidi, how are you?
Hi, Heidi.
Hello, Heidi.
Good. I don't know what was happening.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
Todd, don't kick the guest off.
I did not kick anybody off. What'd she do? Heidi, come back.
in the meantime, we can
yeah.
look at my bat wings. Yay!
Yes, you've got some news. Tell us. Tell us.
Well,
Well,
next
you've lost.
50 kilos.
And in pounds, that is?
It's about 106-ish pounds.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Give or take.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
110 pounds.
110 pounds. There you go. I don't know where the 10 months has gone. I actually planned on actually telling you guys at some point soon something that I've naturally been doing that I didn't even realize I was doing it until last night. I'm actually sleeping flatter.
Yeah,
And
absolutely you are.
put that together with the vibration plate, and I'm eating butter, not all the time, but I am eating butter, the increased fat, and it would explain a lot where the mobility is concerned. Like when I step from here to the back patio, or even the front door, which is a much deeper step, much deeper, there is no stress on my knee or hip when I step down anymore. Like,
Awesome.
no, it's still awkward, but I don't feel that jolting when I shift my weight onto the knee. When I step down, it's gone. It's gone.
Wow.
So good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when I went out on Friday with my son, it was my joy to take him to a counseling session and do a thing that a mother does. And, I went and got a trolley. We went to a shopping place. He went and got some drinks for Dad. And there was a shopping trolley about 2 car spaces away. And I'm like, I used to lean on the trolley. I wonder what that's like now. Oh, it's 2 spaces away. I had already gotten out of the car and I was looking at this darn trolley. I'm like, oh, whatever. And I walked over there. Okay, well, walked. I used the term loosely. Hobbled around without my walking stick to go and get the trolley so that I could see what it was like. Because I used to lean on the trolley. So I basically grabbed it, turned it around and leaned on it coming back towards the car. I'm like, and Joshua, my son, didn't believe me when we went for his appointment. I said, okay, so you didn't believe that I walked that distance without my walking stick. All right, I'll show you. I'll get out of the car. I'll walk around the front of the car while I walk towards that bench, right? And I did that. I turned around and he was like,
Shocked, right? He couldn't believe it.
He couldn't believe it.
That's fantastic.
It's
the changes sneak up on you, don't they?
Oh, they do. And when they do, they go, smack. I can now okay, so my birthday's at the end of the month. My husband's taking the day off before from work. And I've said, we're going to the movies. He went, pardon? I said, we're going to the movies. He went, what, gold class? I said, yeah, of course. But we're going to the movies. He said, I didn't expect that. I said, yeah, you know what? We're there. We are there. We are definitely there. Next October, I've got a gentleman who's coming up to QPAC here. He's going to be singing in Verdi's Requiem. I'm going. I don't care if a forklift gets me in there. I'm bloody going. But I don't think I'm going to need a forklift. But There's even faint murmurings with my friend Adrian. We're trying to work out how one is going to navigate a flight down to Hobart to see a lady from America, a mezzo-soprano who's making her debut in Australia. I've got to go. I don't care how that happens, but I've got to go. But I can actually see that happening.
That's awesome.
When's that happening? What? In Hobart?
That's November next year.
November. Oh, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. She doesn't die of a coughing fit.
Furball, sorry.
But I mean, how crazy is that? You know?
Oh, I just, because also in November, Metallica are going to be up here, right? And it's funny because Lindy knows I opted out of going.
Oh, wow.
Right. And it just so happens that when Metallica are up here is when this lady's making her debut. I love Metallica, don't get me wrong, but it'll always be the opera. Sorry, not sorry. But, you know, my husband sat here the other night and he said, how are we going to manage November? He said, it's going to be a busy, busy month. I said, what part of it needs to be managed? He said, well, you know, if you go down to Hobart, what does that mean? I said, it means I'm in Hobart. Your concert for Metallica is down the road. You'll get to come home. What are you worried about?
That's awesome.
Can you say learning curve?
Right? That's awesome.
I'm not waiting for anybody. That's the thing. Before I had boyfriends and stuff like that, I used to go to the movies on my own. I don't wait for anybody. If I want to go to the opera, if I can manage it, I'll see you later, folks. There's the food. Go cook it.
And it says from opera to Metallica.
I know, right? It's crazy. From Mozart to Metallica, like that. I can. It's quite bizarre. But, you know, I've got a very broad taste. Do you want to hear my story about the gallstones and my mother?
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Right. Okay.
That's probably next on Todd's list to get.
What?
You say no bad vibe in it, sir.
So the opera is called Nabucco. Now, anybody who knows anything about opera or even doesn't necessarily know much about opera, they always end tragically. Somebody always dies, kills themselves, falls off a cliff or whatever. It's always tragic. So the character that my mother used to sing in this opera was Abigail. And she's quite the career-focused lady. I'll just put it that way. But about halfway through the opera, she gets sort of like a conscience on her. And she basically takes poison and, you know, does herself in. And there's a whole aria at the end that she sings. And she comes on being led by guards. You know, she's frail. And she's holding the poison. But here, look, I just took this. And so anyway, the last run of performances that my mother did in Melbourne, if memory serves, the conductor was an overseas conductor, and they were talking about gallstones. She said, well, I've got my gallstones in a little tub. And he says, oh, you do not? She says, I do. I will prove it to you. The only problem was she didn't say when she was going to prove it to him. So during a performance, she comes on to do her bit at the end with her little tub of gallstones. And there are some silent pauses in the music. So the aria, rattle, 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 rattle. Rattle, 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 rattle. And the conductor's like, oh. She saw him and then realizing what it was that she had done, he was like, oh. She brought them on stage and she was rattling the tub on the stage during a live performance. She had snickers of the chorus around her were laughing and she had to keep singing, but you know, that was a moment and a half. He didn't
funny.
expect it. He didn't expect it. But that was mother.
That's funny. Yeah, sometimes the inside jokes. You know, there's jokes for the audience, but then sometimes there's jokes for the comedians, right?
Oh, there's tons of them.
For sure.
Backstage. Oh my God! I tell you what, the sense of humor in the opera backstage is.
Oh, that's
Love
funny.
it. Love it.
Different show, huh?
Oh God. You know, they'll be telling rude, dirty jokes to each other just as they're about to go on stage, and then
Crack them up.
Trying to break them.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So what me and Todd do.
Yep.
Michael, he usually comes on with a bullcrap pitcher or possibly a Timu bobblehead.
No, I want that. I want the whole set of the Timu barbecue and smoker. I want those. I want those.
Put them on your Monopoly board to bring up Park Place values.
Right? Right?
That would be.
I do think we need a
you guys like my smoker. Come on. Todd's jealous. I know. I can see it.
I am. That is impressive.
I love it. That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
So funny. So I wonder what happened to Heidi.
Well, Heidi, if you want to come back on, click on the link, but you have to log out. So you had YouTube open
or mute
it. Yeah, you
mute,
have to
mute
yeah.
that. YouTube. Mute
Yeah.
it.
Because you were just getting feedback, and so you're hearing it twice. So if you're on the same device like your phone, even that'll happen. Like if YouTube's running in the background, so save the link, but open the YouTube app, and close it so that you can make sure that it's closed. Or if it's on your laptop, close the YouTube window, and then you'll be good to go. So then you won't get the echo. All right, am I missing any?
Echo.
I got to shout out people on Rumble right now. You guys are killing it. I have more viewers on Rumble right now than I do on YouTube. So,
wow. How many have you got?
30. There's 30 on, or there was.
So is it worth it?
Well, for us to be able to speak freely, yes. And that's what we're doing. We are, what would you say? We are starting the revolution. We are getting people over.
I like that idea a bit, I must admit.
Yeah, so
Free
that we
speech.
can. For sure. We need to speak freely. And one of us, I'm not going to name names, but one of us got a hard strike on YouTube. It could have been any of us, really. But so
Lindy,
we are preserving our right to speak and getting a little bit resentful in the process. So we are moving to greener pastures where words do not actually hurt people. So we can go over there, speak freely. There we go. Exactly. Where there will be no safe spaces. And your only recourse is to walk off if you don't want to hear it. And that is what I would love to get to so that we can talk about the things that shan't be named. Which platform? So, Lisa, we are not just moving, but we are multi-platforming now to Rumble and to X, because Rumble and X do not censor speech, and YouTube does because they have big donors with big interest in keeping everybody sick. So we are going to where we can speak freely about the truth and the things that are hurting
Do you
people.
reckon I should, Todd?
I think everybody should, honestly.
Really?
Like, seriously, 100%.
I don't even know where to start. Cheese and rice.
Well, Lindy is an expert because Lindy is so awesome.
She's got enough on her plate. Oh, honey
She
child.
does. She
Oh,
does.
damn. She's got enough on her plate without me saying, hi, Lindy. Can you help
I'll
me?
help you. I'll help you.
Oh.
We're all good.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
Lisa on Instagram says they don't like carnivore lately on YouTube. Correct. They don't, because there's not enough money into it. Healthy people aren't worth a whole lot of money, and healthy people are not nearly as controllable. So that that does not bode well for, the people that are trying to keep us sick and infertile and,
Yep.
all those things.
We will still be on YouTube, and we might even
Yeah.
do a 20 minutes and then just say, okay, if you want to come over for the soapbox chats, come straight over to Rumble. Then we quit the YouTube and then go to Rumble so everyone can follow on. So you won't miss anything because we will start off here.
I think if I'm going to have a soapbox, I'm going to call it the meat tray.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome. That's what you should do. Exactly, Jules. A place where if words hurt your feelings, nobody gives a crap. Exactly. Like, look, we're not going to do it for the sole purpose of making people feel bad or trying to hurt feelings. But if truth and meaning is going to hurt your feelings, then yeah, you're either going to have to like walk off or because nobody's going to care. Like, yeah, I'm not talking about going after people, but what I am talking about is speaking truth at all costs and being able to be clear about it. So it's not going to be malicious to innocent people, but we got to be able to speak the truth. And if that offends you,
the last time I checked, we're all adults. We can all make our own decisions.
For sure.
We don't need somebody else blocking what we're, give us our choices.
Exactly.
You made it.
I did.
There you go. Is that better, Heidi?
That is much better. It took me forever to figure out how to do that, though. So
I know when that happens, it sounds like the voices in my head before I started carnivore.
yeah, it's rough.
Right, it's real bad.
I mean, it's funny because it's true.
Well, and I just missed half this conversation because I was trying to figure out what to do, and then as I just did it, it was like, oh, that was so simple. I get it now.
Right.
Been there.
Little tricks. Everybody thinks this. So I'm kind of known for having audio problems. The big live stream I did with Bella and everybody in Texas was plagued with audio problems. And I took hard time, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. It's a little bit difficult when you get that many microphones and stuff going and we bit off a little more than we could chew. Yes, we did. But we all learn and we must be getting smarter. How are you doing today, Heidi?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm not much of a typer either, so to speak in the chat takes me like, oh, you're already like 5 conversations down by the time I got my sentence text. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, really good.
But
well, is this your debut on YouTube? There's like you got like I guess 92 people watching.
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I've gone to the steak and butter gang, so
there you go.
I've been on a few of those, not on their live videos, but yeah, I know my son really wants to be a YouTuber.
Start now. Have something good to say. It'll be fun. Some of those kids that just open up toys and play with them make millions of dollars. It's crazy.
They do. Oh my
Yeah.
Well, and he
goodness.
wanted to do it years ago, but I didn't let him. And I'm like, but being a parent, depending on. I live in the state of Oregon, so it's a blue state. That's all I'm saying.
Right, for sure.
Anyways.
I got you. You might then plug your ears if
yes.
when I'm on a soapbox.
I really want to move to like Texas because it's so warm there and nice, and I've lived in Arizona,
really?
so I've seen the scorpions before, but I just I don't know. All my family's here though, so but
right.
Yeah.
I got you.
I found I haven't been wanting eggs lately either, which is such a weird thing. Speaking carnivore, but
right. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, that is the beauty of it, is that we're learning to listen to our body. And so I just lean into it now. And we have to stop being so manic about being so hyper reactive to every little change that goes on. Like our body says something, we listen to it. We have the slightest bit of effect that we think we don't like because we don't understand what's actually going on, like a little bit of fluid retention or a little bit of, the scale says something different, or we get tired and we automatically think all those things are negative, so this must be wrong. And it's like, it wasn't wrong. It wasn't ever wrong. We were supposed to sleep when our body needed to heal. we were supposed to have, the nutrients in the fluid when our body needed building blocks to repair something. We're supposed to sleep when our body needs to detox. We're supposed to do all these things.
Yeah.
And we're just not as smart as our body is when it comes to our physiology. So it's like, we just need to stop fighting it and just trust it. And if you get a pudgy face like I have this month from priming, you go out here with your chipmunk face and you just call it good.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. One of the first things that I noticed when I started was that how can you listen to your body when you're putting that much in it that's not really great and ideal for you? How can you listen to your body with all that noise? Right. Once you remove all the noise, then you can hear what your body's trying to tell you a lot better. Like I stick of butter a day. I've found the happy medium is half a stick of butter a day. And it's not necessarily every day. But because you've removed the noise, your body will tell you, you need a stick of butter today.
Right.
And I do it,
Right. And what you're talking about is interrupting your signaling. Like, our body has signaling, but it's just like a muscle. We have to train it for it to get stronger so we can hear it. But if you are screwing up your hormones, you're screwing up your signaling. And then like I said, when I was a crackhead, I couldn't listen to my body because my body said pizza, soda, ice cream, Copenhagen, coffee, Red Bull, said all these things. Like, and what, it used to drive me crazy when people say, you just need to listen to your body. I'm like, my body is a dumpster fire and a crackhead. And so my body is lying to me and it's trying to kill me. So
it's a dumpster fire.
Oh, it really is. It was, but then it's like what Jordan Peterson says. He said, the real, what these diets really are animal-based elimination diets.
Yeah.
You can get down to a controlled study, basically, of the bare minimums of the most nutritious food that are the least inflammatory, that are the most most pliable and valuable to the largest number of people without having side effects, which is generally ruminant animals, salt, and water. If you have those three things and you get down to just that, then you can shut off the noise. You can correct your hormones. You can switch over from being a glucose burner to being an amino acid fat burner. And then you start producing ketones. You start, healing your hormones. You start balancing your hormones. Your brain chemistry gets better. And then your signaling gets better. Your gut microbiome gets better. Your mouth microbiome gets better, which there's a connection between signaling between the mouth microbiome and the gut microbiome and the brain and your hormones, and it all gets better. And then you go, oh, that's what they were talking about. Okay, now I hear it. Right? And then you start practicing it and you play with it. And that's why at first some people find it helpful to track macros and to count calories and to look at things. But if you're hyperreactive to all those things and you let it keep you from doing the right thing because you're overreacting because you don't understand things that are happening, you can talk yourself out of it. Like, the scale being the biggest one. Like, what does the scale really tell us? It tells us how much we weigh.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell us how much that's water, lean muscle mass, fat, bone density. It doesn't tell us any of those things. And when you say you want to lose weight, you don't actually mean you want to lose weight. You want to lose a specific kind of weight, which is inflammatory water retention and fat. Is what you're trying to lose. And then we don't even understand that our fat is full of toxins from saving us from all the poison that we put into ourselves for forever. And so our body can't even really release that until it's healthy enough to do so. And until you fix your mitochondria and your immune system and you heal up your lymphatic system and all these things. And then we get all cranky because our body wants a nap to heal that up. It's like, we're kind of jerks to our body when it comes to it, because it's amazing what it's put up with for as long as it's put up with it.
Oh.
And then we expect, because we give it some steaks, that it shouldn't need some sleep and it shouldn't need to oxalate dump and you shouldn't have a kidney stone like I just had. Of course I had a kidney stone. I drank more soda than any man alive, I think. So, right, it's just healing. It's a good thing
Yeah.
that it's getting rid of it, you know. So
Now, all I know is that, you know, before I even found carnivore, when I got up here, I was on like reduced carbohydrates. It was just being mindful of the carbohydrates, and I did lose some weight. Obviously, you would, but I knew something wasn't right when I wasn't getting the relief in my legs. I'm like, no, it can't be just the weight. It can't be just that, because I'm losing weight. It's not to say losing 50 kilos hasn't helped. It probably has.
Huge.
But just having that instinct enough, you know, about 2 years ago going, it can't be just the weight. So, you know, you embark on this journey, you find out that you were right. It's not just the weight. It's the healing. It's the lipedema. And, you know, it's an eye-opener. It really is. To
For
the
sure.
degree when you go to Costco, you see kids running rampant and the parents working hard to keep them contained. Then you look in the trolley and go, you go
Right.
around the corner of one particular aisle and you go, could they make the chip packets any bigger? And then my husband's little voice said, yes. I mean, I've seen those chip packets here at home when we first came out here, and my husband was let loose on Costco. He was like, you know, so I've seen them. But when you see a wall of those giant packets, yikes. That is some scary stuff.
for sure. Well, and I mean, just look look at the average cart. Well, see, this.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, yeah, I know. This is a
Drums of
conversation.
canola oil.
Well, canola oil, and they all go through. You know, they go through Costco, and then it's all full. No, these are fruit leathers. It's like, oh, it's dehydrated sugar. Awesome, dehydrated high fructose corn syrup. Good. Yeah, that's going to hit nicely. You know, and all this soda in bulk, but yeah, this is, you know, whatever Zevia or whatever it is. It's just like, it's all, some of it's better for sure, and I'd rather see somebody drink Zevia, but they don't realize that all those things are still just messing with the endorphin center of your brain. That's still messing with your old addictions. It's going to keep you from truly being free from those cycles. You know, those cycles of, you know, dopamine fixing. You know, and it's just silly where there's a natural, you know, there is a natural cycle that we're supposed to use for dopamine, and it's right. And Murdad,
Especially the hotter it gets. Am I right, guys?
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And the dopamine cycle, you know, originally was supposed to be for the reward. Like, it used to be hard to get dopamine, right? You had to go on a big hunt or whatever. You had to really risk life and limb, which is why, and this is coming from a slight bit of a gambling addict before, you know, you have to lose more and you have to risk more, because the risk has to be huge to get the big dopamine. And that's what hunting was. That's what, you know, migrations were. That's what, you know, all these things were that you used to have to work for. You used to have to work before you would get the dopamine fix, and that was to keep you doing hard things. But now we can get dopamine at the purchase of a bag of Oreos. You know, we can just keep getting those stupid things, and that's
It's always in arm's reach.
it is, for nothing. But
so I had an incident in the Oreo aisle at Costco. Okay, so there was this mother and daughter. I knew it was time to leave Costco when this happened. So the mother and daughter were standing there. I was on my scooter, Speed Demon and all of that jazz, you know. And as I was approaching them, the mother saying, do you think we should get some Oreos for our movie night tonight? I rode past them saying, buy some steak, you'd be better off. I'm like, oh, it's time to leave. We're getting bitey. We're getting bitey. I did,
right?
it just boom came out. I couldn't help it. because I'd already been there for an hour and a half looking at all of this stuff going, oh my gosh. And then that came out. I'm like, hubby, I think I need to leave.
Right. That's 100% true. But, the thing of it is, though, Mary, when you're down 110 pounds in 10 months, you're walking, you're thinking about going to concerts and all these things, right?
Yeah.
And you know a lot of people in your circle. So imagine what's going to happen in the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. And then when you walk through Costco, all the people that knew you before, then they're going to listen to you because they're going to keep eating the stuff. They're going to keep getting sicker. They're going to keep being inflamed and having metabolic problems. And right now they're not ready to listen. A lot of people aren't, but that's all you got to keep doing is when you're walking around vibrant and you seem to be aging backwards and you're getting lean and your skin has good color and you're not sick and miserable and out of energy and chronic fatigue doesn't apply to you.
Well, I have a cunning plan for that.
Is it, do you?
I've got a cunning plan. Who would like to hear my plan for when I'm finally wearing a t-shirt? So I saw an advert for a t-shirt that has a QR code on it, right?
Oh.
No.
I think you know which one I mean. Mine's going to be a little bit more customized than that. I'm going to have, because people can't resist, oh, it's QR code. I wonder what I'll get for free. So they're going to come across my t-shirt with a QR code on it, right? And there's going to be a picture of me on the 1st of January 2024. And just one caption, words to the effect of, eat more meat and fat.
There you go.
That's it.
As a
And it'll
tech
come up on
person,
their phone.
I just want to condone, don't
Don't
randomly
scan.
select.
Don't randomly scan QR codes because they'll own your bank account.
I'm not tech savvy enough. I won't be doing that to your shirt.
You know what I do think that they should do? I thought with the QR codes because I like that idea because I like the QR business cards and stuff. But why in the crap, in the ever-loving crap, can somebody not create a QR generator that will turn any logo into a QR code? Because you should be able to overlay easily readable patterns over a existing logo so that it doesn't have to be a big ugly square block.
Right.
You can put it in your logo.
Sure, you could.
Yeah.
Don't
I know. And I was trying to figure it out. And I was like, this can't be hard to do. And so
My question is, why are you sharing that on live YouTube?
because I got a lot of
'Cause that's
plans
Todd.
already. I have too many plans already. So somebody please
Okay.
steal my idea and go make a QR code generator that will take a logo, look at it, and make a distinct QR code out of it. Because we don't want big ugly blotches on. It should be automatic that you look at a company's logo and you know that you can scan it. That should just be a done deal. We shouldn't have to think past it any more than that. And so I don't know why that's not already a thing. And I looked into it because I thought that is $1 million idea, probably. And then I was like, I'm not going to ever do it. So somebody else do it so I can use it because I really want it. Send me a free one if you use it. But I think it should be a thing because nobody wants to have, you don't want, imagine if you had your Carnivore Odyssey logo, but you could see kind of colored squiggly lines within the logo that were very faint. But you could see it. Your camera phone can surely pick it up, scan it, and everybody would start to understand that all logos are not just trademarks, but they're scannable to take you to your social media or your digital stuff. And that should to a link tree. That's what I would like it to go to. So anyhow, somebody's got to make that because I searched for it and I couldn't believe somebody hasn't already made it. Somebody should definitely make that. So
I have a question for you all.
Yeah.
First, I'm in Gresham, Oregon, for the person that asked me where I'm at in Oregon. But so I'm actually really close to where they live, which is pretty neat. But my question was, so when you first started carnivore and you all started feeling better, because I've been listening to quite a few of your lives, did you end up ever going out and going kind of wild and hurting yourself? because of the fact that you felt so good. Like I ended up going back to work and hurting my back because I felt
Oh,
so
yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, now I'm trying
Yeah,
to heal for that.
On multiple occasions. I just healed up an elbow because I built a gym and I was like, I'm going lifting. And then I was like, ow, ow, ow. Because I went from not being able to get out of a chair for 2.5 years to trying to bench 205 on a Smith machine. And I didn't think that one through. So,
Oh boy.
for sure. No, I know exactly what you mean.
For me, no, because I've been mentally and physically confined for so long. And the navigation mentally and physically of any given situation actually instilled in me a lot of caution. And if there was any kind of danger signal, I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it because I was petrified of falling out. Because if I fall over even now, even though it might be just a little bit easier, but if I had fallen over at 220 kilos,
No.
that would have been a whole heap of trouble right there. So I found myself, over cautious about everything. But it's starting to lift. The only repercussions I'm getting now is, okay, so I am moving a little bit more. There is obviously going to be a little bit more pain, but it's not an injury. I'm still careful. I still have to be careful because, you've got to crawl before you can walk, and you've got to walk before you can run. And, when somebody is as big as us guys, you have to just really be mindful of that. You got to be careful. So for me, no, because I was just over cautious.
Best way to be.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I did hurt myself a few times on the treadmill because mentally I just wanted to go at it, but physically my body hadn't caught up with my headspace. And so you do try and push yourself a little bit too much, and then, you can hurt yourself. But I'm also like Mylan, where I'm very cautious about going out. Like I'd love to go for a walk around the block, but I've had a fall in the hallway just behind me, actually knocked out 3 of my teeth. I am scared that if I fall, especially out on the street, how am I going to get myself up? I need a chair to prop myself up. Everything hurts. And even now, I haven't tried getting on the floor and trying to get up because I'm too scared to. What if I can't get up? I don't want my husband to have to come and try and help me get up. I'm embarrassed. So I don't purposely get on the floor. I haven't tried it myself. So I just avoid situations where I might have a fall and then be stuck and then have to ask for help. So I don't put myself in those situations. So that fear's still there. And it's hard to break that mindset as well. I'm trying hard to, but
I think it's going to be one of the hardest things. It's going to be one of the hardest things.
Yeah. But there's no rush. Just keep eating meat and just keep doing what I'm doing. And I know I'm going to get better. And one of these days I will feel confident and comfortable to get on the floor and get myself up. And I can probably do it now. I'm just not ready there. And, just little wins along the way. It'll happen. There's no rush. I just got to concentrate on eating meat and just doing what I'm comfortable doing now. So if I stress myself out too much, then it's just going to make everything worse for me. I don't want the extra pressure, feeling like a failure and spiraling.
Yeah.
And sustainability being the key ingredient, I think. And when you overdo it, it's not sustainable because you spend more time hurting. There's a lot of people talk about this that, for a long time, and maybe if you want to be like a world-class bodybuilder or something, maybe this is the only way, but most 99.999% of us don't care to be a world-class bodybuilder. We just want to function and feel good and be lean. And so the weightlifters always tell you, take a muscle to 100% failure, and and all this stuff. But I listened to, kind of the newer thing has been that actually, if you take a muscle to like 70% failure, at the end of the year through sustainability, you're going to end up with way more repetitions in and way more movement in that muscle at the end of the year. Because if you have to take it to 100% failure and then heal for 2 or 3 days before you can do it again, versus taking a muscle to 70% failure and doing it every day, then you're going to get a lot more repetition out of that muscle, and you're going to do it a lot happier, and you're going to do it without being sore. And then using some things like cold plunge therapy or cold showers, or using shake plates to work out. Yeah, sauna. Use things to work out lactic acid out of your muscle. You're going to even make it more sustainable because you're not going to be sore. So, and it makes you sore or gimped up that keeps you from going out there. Like I finally made it through all this stuff because of carnivore, but also because I knew myself good enough at this point that I knew I had to build an environment around me that was going to be the least path of resistance. Like if it was too hard, I don't care how pathetic it seemed. If it was too hard, I bought extra dishes so that if I had dirty dishes, I had more dishes. I bought extra pots and pans. I bought extra cooking things so that I couldn't have a single excuse. I bought a mini fridge to sit right next to me, and I built a little room. I'm like, I'm going to have no excuse to not be able to just pull something out of the fridge and have it in my mouth in about 12 minutes from now. Faster than DoorDash can get here, faster than I can put an order in. And I just had to do it. And yeah, it's kind of pathetic that I had to do that but that was where I was at. And Murdad, me and you're going to have it out if you keep dissing Jordan Peterson in the chat. I'm a huge Jordan Peterson fan, but like Jordan Peterson says, he's never met anybody that didn't get better if they were willing to humble themselves enough to bring themselves down to reality where they could make a small change that would make a difference, that they would do sustainably. And I truly
100%.
believe in that. Yeah. So point being is you are better off lifting a 2-pound weight than a 200-pound weight if you only get to lift that 200-pound weight every 6 months because you're healing up. But you'd be way better off lifting that 2-pound weight every day for 10 minutes. And you're better off working out 5 minutes a day and getting that movement in consistently than working out for 30 minutes or an hour and then quitting after a week, because you can't do it or 3 days, So it's about finding that sustainable thing and working it in until it becomes a habit and like a reflex. And then you can build off of that and add a minute or two. But those things add up so huge, it's the compounding penny, it really is. And they turn into the biggest things ever. They really do. And we think, well, we can't do that because it starts so small that we can't see a significant growth in it. But we can't stop time. It's like we don't have another choice. The time's going to go by whether we're doing a good thing or a bad thing. So take the small win because it's better than the big loss every day. The big loss is just going to dig us in sicker and deeper. And just like Chafee says, if you walk 10 miles in the forest, you got to walk 10 miles out. We got to turn around and stop walking into that damn forest, even if it's a tiny, slow walk out, even if it feels like it's a million miles away, at least stop walking in the forest, We got to stop digging ourselves in. So, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I just keep seeing all the changes in everybody. You see them in SBG, and we all do these huge turnovers, just like Merriwin. It just seems like she just started yesterday, and she's down 110 pounds, 10 months.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, it just feels like we met Merriwin just the other day.
Yeah, she's out driving and getting a life back again. So it's wonderful to see.
That is wonderful.
It is awesome. Nope. And before we know it, we're all going to be 5 years into this, and everybody is going to notice and be like, I'm sick. I'm not feeling good. Because those people are walking in the forest, right now. Those people. And they're going to want to know how everybody else got out, pretty soon. And that's how this is going to grow, which is why I'm going to say it again, Meredad. Jordan Peterson always says, if you want to change the world, start by cleaning your room, What he's basically means all the time is that if your life is in disarray, you can't tell anybody else how to fix their life, you know. But if you fix your life, people will notice. And it starts with this tiniest thing, like getting your life in order and cleaning your room is his example. But fixing your diet, cleaning your diet, it'll manifest into your physical health in your body, and then people will come to you, and you'll actually be able to tell them how you walked out a small piece at a time, and they'll listen, you know. And that's how we actually make a change. So, but that was my rant for today. Where'd Marilyn go?
I think she's on the phone. Yeah.
Well, we are 3 hours and 21 minutes into this.
Overtime.
Overtime pay was time and a half on top of nothing. So good work. You guys get a, well, I used to have my old joke used to be you get a cookie, but you don't even get a cookie. You get beef jerky. You get a
delicious.
It kept me in.
But I think we're going to call it a day, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm hungry. So my lamb is sitting here nice and cold. I get stuck into that now.
There you go. Mary Wynn, we're hanging it up.
Right. Gotcha.
I appreciate
Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. That's awesome.
How are you?
JJ, what's your YouTube channel name? You should pitch it right now. There's like 110 people watching.
Aren't you Fierce Fireblade?
I don't know, actually.
It's Fierce Fireblade.
Come on, this is your opportunity, man.
Dude, I thought you were trying to be a YouTuber. You got to have your social.
I forgot if it was
YouTuber 101.
It's Fierce Fireblade. Yes, it's Fierce Fireblade.
Now the problem is I had Rumble on my TV watching your channel, and I have Lindy on my phone. So.
Yeah, you are watching everything.
That's awesome. So thank you so much.
Well, everybody goes. You guys all, but I need to get Michael supported too.
Anyways. But yeah, go subscribe to Fierce Fireblade, and let's get JJ's YouTube channel going off the ground.
Sounds good.
Yeah, one of my favorite YouTubers, his name is Unspeakable, and I think it's pretty cool to be a YouTuber.
That's awesome. But JJ, when you're on YouTube, you're supposed to be politically correct and say whoever's channel you're on is your favorite.
Yeah, that's right.
Todd.
We're still learning.
We won't give you a demerit right now, but I'm just saying in the future it helps to get more gigs.
I guess so.
They are pretty awesome though. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys. And we appreciate y'all out there. We love you guys. We'll see you next Sunday and next Friday and all those days. We're going to see you Thursday, Friday, Sunday. And if you're an SBG, Saturday and Sunday.
Monday,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
We're all the days. All the days. Come and see
all
us.
the days. Anything that ends in day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see you the next time.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Have a good week.